Good evening, everybody, and welcome to One Last Score, a twisted narrative actual play. Tonight, we enter the city of Duskfall in the world of Blades in the Dark. My name is Kristian, and I'll be your game master for the evening. Tonight, we are joined by 4 mysterious, murky, and mischievous players. I'd like you all to introduce yourselves and your characters, please. So, starting with Andy.
I guess that's me then. So, firstly, I'm Andy from Twisted Narrative. If you don't know what that is, check in the description below. You can see us on Discord. I'm in the very interesting position of playing tonight, very much an eternal GM, and I'm so thankful and excited to be part of this. I'll be playing a character called Ambrose Larkin, otherwise known as Barkin Larkin. I'm going to be a whisper in Blades of the Dark, which is individuals that are somehow connected to the supernatural. But of course, this is Blades in the Dark, so this is no high fantasy magics. This is dirty, grimy, gutter supernatural shenanigans going on. And I'm very excited. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy. Matt, could you introduce yourself, please, and your character?
Hello, I'm Matt, and my character is Hix Welker, also known as, or more commonly known as Echo, who is a lurk in the game and a stealthy infiltrator who keeps himself to himself and sticks in the shadows as much as possible and does what he can to liberate people of things they no longer need, whether they want them or not.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Matt. Sarah, could you introduce yourself and your character, please?
Hi, yes, so I'm Sarah, that's Yig on Discord. This is actually my first time playing Blades in the Dark, so nothing like in at the deep end. So this evening I'm going to be playing a leech, which they're sort of technicians, saboteurs, and I'm definitely taking the latter of those two. My character's name is Stevie Miller, also known as Grimlyn. So I'm going to see what mischief I can get up to today.
Thank you, Sarah. I love the pun. And finally, but by no means least, Rachel, could you introduce yourself and your character, please?
Yeah, so hello, I'm Rachel, and today I'm playing the cutter of the group, which is the Blades in the Dark term for the brawler, the fighter. But mine has a little bit of a twist in that she can imbue her hands or a weapon with spirit energy, which allows her to grapple with the spirits that come up in this world. Her name is Jerica, but she's also known as Swan. And she's Scovlan, so she's from an outlying island that has only recently been taken over by the Empire, and worked to subdue the ghosts out there when fixing the machinery that keeps the cities of this world protected from the ghosts out in the waste. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Rachel. So I'm first going to tell everyone watching a little bit about Duskfall. So Duskfall, Duskwall, the Dusk. Call it what you want. It is a cramped, confined city where twilight is the most light you've ever seen. Nestled between the lightning towers, keeping the frightful ghosts out. However, there are still some that lurk within. Set in a largely Victorian-esque world, imagine Paris, Venice, London, all merged together into one. Billowing smokestacks and ironwork, crackling electricity and haunting noises. That is the city we enter tonight. Blades in the Dark is a rather simple system. You have a number of actions that you can perform. There are things you can do to help others, but it all comes down to rolling a d6 and seeing what the result is. On a result of a 1, 2, or 3, you fail. On a result of a 4 or a 5, you succeed, but with a complication. And on a 6, you succeed. If you roll multiple dice, because you've got multiple dots, and you get multiple 6s, you have a critical. where it increases the effect that you're going to have. However, that is by the by, because right now you have all been invited to Aunty Helen's parlor for afternoon tea. Aunty Helen is not known for hosting afternoon tea, and most of you are not the type to take it. However, when Aunty Helen asks, you don't refuse. The invites arrived in rose-scented envelopes, enough for you to detect the smell, but not enough to overpower overbearing funk of plasm, distilled leviathan blood that keeps the city's electricity running. A 2-story rundown terraced house on Mount Street serves as Aunty Helen's current room. Rain and wind lash at your coats as you find yourself with 3 others. You recognize all of your companions standing there, as it would seem you have all had the same invitation. So, I'd like Barkin Larkin. Can you just describe what you look like, please?
Well, what you see is what you think is a heavy-set man, but it's not muscle that makes him bulky, it's the clothes. A very large woolen overcoat that has seen much better times, stained with God knows what, candle wax dripped down and kind of set upon it. The candle wax is broken and crusted, almost like flaking skin. His head is covered with an equally distressed tricorn hat. Seen much better days. Number of holes, rips, tears in it. Probably out of the gutter he found that, or maybe down even in the sewers, but keeps this torrential rain off your head. In terms of hair, shoulder length, greasy, unkempt, stubble, although that in itself is difficult to see because of the scarf that covers his lower face. Again, more for convenience. You get a look at his stubble when he pulls it down to take a deep suck on a tab, some tobacco that he's found probably again in the sewers or off the floor. Tobacco's difficult to come by. Cost coin, don't you know? Cost coin. That is what he looks like. He's probably got stuff in his pockets, and quite a lot of pockets, but difficult to tell really. Oh, Barkin. Yeah, people call me that because they think I'm mad. I'm not mad because I deal with ghosts. I'm mad. Yeah, that's why they call me Barkin.
Thank you very much, Barkin Larkin. Echo, what do you look like?
So you see a quite tall, but not too tall, thin, wiry man with this kind of shock of deep brown, slightly auburn hair, wearing it's a very battered and possibly once was dark green, but now is just grimy black frock coat or kind of long, down to about knee length coat, and hands most of the time shoved deep into pockets, but when you see them, they're wearing fingerless gloves. And a very ratty green scarf is kind of just loosely hung around his shoulders, with a look that it can be used to cover the face or to keep him warm or to keep things off if need be. And the coat itself has a quite a deep hood that when it's pulled up, most of the face is lost in shadow. And a perennial 5 o'clock shadow on his chin and kind of his gaunt features, and a permanently tired look in his eyes.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Echo. Grimlyn, what do you look like?
So Grimlyn is wearing a very long skirt, sort of floor length, and is sort of probably seen dodging the puddles, jumping over them, trying not to get their sort of skirts wet. They are kind of epitomise a sort of grubby kind of appearance, somebody who's perhaps not got a lot of money but is wearing their Sunday best because this is clearly an important meeting. They have a sort of straw boater hat that's all tatty at the edges, and what you think is probably a hat pin keeping it in place at the back, where they've tied up their long dark hair into a kind of slightly messy kind of bun to keep it out of the way. They have a shawl wrapped around their shoulders and a very tight waistcoat in similar colours, sort of very drab kind of garb. Yeah, I think that's probably about it.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Grimlyn. And finally, Swan, what do you look like?
So Swan is fairly tall and fairly slim, but with a sort of athletic look, which lends itself to the name that she's quite lithe. She's dressed practically. She'll be wearing sort of the equivalent of combat, the practical workmanship sort of look, but with a long coat, a long leather coat to keep her dry from this rain, and her long blonde hair tied back.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Swan. So you're all standing outside Aunty Helen's house when, as you're all looking at each other, you realise you're all here at the same time, which is when you're asked to be here. The light doesn't change very much in Doskwell, but no one's rung the doorbell yet. So, players, over to you.
Well, I guess this one's a commanding sort to a point. Could do have that element. So we'll look around. Are any of the others sort of looking like they are stepping up? Skulking in the shadows.
Is leaning
So I
on
think
a fence post nearby.
I think Grimlyn is similarly watching the street, seeing if anyone's noticed that they're kind of approaching the house.
Is this it? Kind of. Well, if it's just us, more scram, eh? I'm starving.
Well, I think if you're here for what I'm here for, then I imagine there'll be something of interest. And
It's usually
There is
the
a-
way.
There's a big bell pull.
H don't mess about, does she now? Eh? So I think this is more than just tea. Between you and me, I hate the bloody stuff. I hope
Only one way to find out.
there's some scram rather than just that brown water.
well, we'll find out.
Who's going to pull the very large bell pull outside?
I already. That's
You pull the bell. Wonderful. So you pull the bell, and moments pass. Then the door is opened, and you are led inside by a polite yet quiet servant in clothing that has definitely seen better. Aunty Helen, a woman in her much later years, is seated in her lace-covered sitting room. Cracked decorative plates line the wall in an attempt to make the room look better than it is, as well as picture frames, each with pencil portraits of all of her family, pencil portraits of yourselves included, in wearing the clothing that you like to be remembered to her by. Several of these pictures, are turned around to face the wall. Not yours, however. Yours are standing proud. But yours is not the one closest to her chair, which she looks at fondly. There is a largish coffee table in the centre of the room, surrounded by battered armchairs. On the coffee table, an afternoon tea. There is, as Larkin has suggested, the muddy water, but also a selection of sandwiches and what potentially could be quite stale cakes. Aunty Helen, a lady with grey hair, done up in a bun, wearing Victorian governess style clothing, but again, it's all rather moth-eaten and tattered, well looked after. She greets you all. Oh, my puppets. It's so good to see some of you, and it's nice to see that some of you made an effort, she says, looking at Grimlyn. She dodders up on her walking stick and walks over it, cups your face, says, "You always were one of my favourites." She goes and rearranges the portraits, moving some other face you don't know down one and you up one. I see Finchley didn't bother to answer my letter, but the less said about him, the better, she says, turning another portrait the other way. I suppose you're all wondering why I asked all of you to my party.
Well, Auntie, you've always been a solid friend, family.
Oh, I've always found you work, dear, whenever you've needed it. Oh, and Echo, it's so lovely to see you here, especially after all the trouble you had. But as I say, Echo, family's family, and you're always family when you're with Aunty Helen, my poppet.
Glad to hear it, Mum.
So you're still here, Barkin?
Yeah. Not dead yet.
Glad to hear it. I could always do with people like you in my life. Salt of the earth you are, Larkin. Salt of the earth.
This scram, can we help ourselves?
Oh, please, sit down, help yourselves. Do you want tea? I know you like something a bit stronger, Larkin.
Yeah. Whatever you got, Auntie. I'm not here to rub you up the wrong way.
It's been years since that happened, darling. No. Well, as some of you are aware, I'm old. I'm very old. Now, a lot of you might not. But in my youth, I was much like yourselves, full of mischief. Now, well, not so much. Well, my poppet, I want to feel alive again. One last time. I want you to put together a score for me. Take me with you on one last score. Take me with this one last job. Oh, I'll be very grateful. I mean, my years in the bullocks, well, I shouldn't have said that. But my years with my friends, well, I'll learn skills, you see. I won't get in your way. Oh, and to sweeten the deal, if you do take me on a job, I'll give you 2 things. The first is 6 coin. And you all know 6 coin is not amount to be sniffed at.
Absolutely.
The second is, well, I'll tell you after you accept, but will you help an old lady fulfill her dreams?
At this point, I just reach across for a couple of sandwiches and just start putting them in my pockets. You can all
You
see.
notice that they.
Sorry, I was going to.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you can see that my hands are sort of stained, both with tobacco and ink. They're not the cleanest of hands. But yeah, just in they go.
You notice as you're lifting them up that the sandwiches, you know how.
Sorry, you faded, Kristian, a moment.
You know that sandwiches normally have a bit of a bend to them. You know, they're made of bread. Well, these sandwiches are rather hard.
Yeah.
They stay like rocks as you put them in your pockets. But don't worry, it means that they're probably going to be preserved for a good long time. Aunty Helen looks at you all with her big doe eyes and just, you can see tears welling up as she gets a rather threadbare handkerchief and starts dabbing at them.
That's an interesting request, Auntie. Did you have anything in mind?
Oh, no. But I thought with you all with your ears to the ground, much closer these days. You could all maybe find something for me. I'm sure with your connections or what have you, you'll be able to find something for your old Aunty Helen. Is that just something to make me feel alive again?
There's always work in Duskwall. Something doing.
I think, Auntie, as you've said, family is family. For my part, and I reach forward and take a cup of tea and the least offensive sandwich I can find. Dunk the sandwich in the tea and take a bite. For my part, I'll do what I can.
Oh, you're so kind, dearie. You're so kind. Do you all say yes? Grimlyn, do you say yes, Poppet?
How could I say no to you, Auntie? Honestly,
You're
she'll
too
reach for a
kind.
cup of tea.
Oh, you're too kind. She tries to pour it for you, and you're shaking. The whole pot is just rattling as she's trying to get it over to you. But she does pour you a cup of tea, mostly in the cup.
Excellent. I will reach for some cake because it's cake. Yep. Probably.
It's a rock cake, but you're fairly certain they're all rock cakes. Whether it was intended to be one, you do not know. So, if you all agree, then
I'm watching Swan at the moment because they've not committed, and I'm aware Swan has a reputation and gets that name for a particular reason. So I'm holding off to see what Swan says.
No, yeah, I'm not meaning to sound uncommitted. So yes, Auntie, we'll have a look. I'm happy to find something we can work out. You've helped me get settled in this city, and I'm sure with this group we can find something for you.
Oh, thank you so much, Poppet. And she gets up and moves to your pencil portrait, Larkin, and she just kind of holds it in her hands. So, Larkin, do you agree?
Coin is coin after all. If the others are in, I guess I'll follow the pack.
Oh, thank you so much, my Poppets. Oh, thank you. You will not regret this. So I guess I can tell you the second thing you'll get as you've agreed to do the job. Well, I'm old, and I don't need this place for much longer. Won't need it forever. So this house, it's yours. It's all yours. A place where you can base yourselves whilst you plan this operation and maybe beyond. My drawing room's through there. I've got maps and things. I think you'll find the map to the governor's house is a little out of date these days. But hopefully we won't be going there because you might still remember my face. Oh dearie, look, whenever you're ready, go through to the next room and well, you can have your discussions or wherever you like. If you like the pub, there's some really good ones around here. I'd recommend the Slaughtered Pig. And she continues to serve you and join you with after tea for as long as you wish. Any other conversations you wish to have?
Not directly, but as she's very generously offering us this property, I kind of want to sniff around, not search the property, but open my senses to see whether it's actually haunted or not.
Okay, how are you going to do that?
I'm going
What
to
skill
get
would you
my
like to use?
senses and open them up. This is more for flavour than anything else, but I assume is attune the thing that is?
Yes, I think it would be attuned. Yes,
And this is
So-
lightly done. I'm just like a dog that is sort of scent not leaving a scent, but seeing if there's any residue or anything else. I'm just having a. So I don't particularly want to push it. It's just
no. It's just how well you know
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
there's anything extra you find.
So the rest of you see me sort of start looking at the pictures, not touching anything, but very much kind of moving around. I have a 3 and a 4.
So that we take the largest,
Yeah.
which is a success, but with a complication. But again, it's just, as you say, it's for flavour. So you say you're going around sniffing things. You get the sense that this house is old, and this house has been in the ghost field within the bounds of the lightning towers for a long time, and there are probably spirits in this house. There are probably things in this house, things that make things creak at night, things that may have vengeful motives. You definitely don't want to sleep in the attic, is the feeling you get.
Excellent. You see that a big smile crosses Barkin's face. He shows his kind of broken teeth. This is a home from home. This is nice.
So, anything from anybody else? We can move on to you starting the job or finding a job. So, afternoon tea is wrapped up, and Aunty Helen, the servant, comes back in and takes the plates away back to the kitchen area at the back. Aunty Helen says she's going to retire to her one of her rooms upstairs for a little bit of a lie down. But the moment you need her, send for a servant, leaving you in the house on your own. The servant's name is Millie, and she will be available to open the door, sort of thing. So you don't need a key. So it's now over to you. You have to find a job for Aunty Helen, something exciting, but something that's going to be something an old lady can come along with you. So, yeah, over to you. What contacts have you got? How do you want to do this? Who do you know? What do you want to do?
Well, she didn't say she had to be alive to do this one last job. We could, bottle her up and carry our ashes with us.
Well, you know how the wardens feel about that.
Yeah. What do they know?
I'd say there was an implication that she wants to be conscious and awake for most of the job, at least.
And I'd assume she wouldn't sign the deeds. With
Well,
been around.
I'm open to being taken over. She could use my body for a while.
How more functional is your body?
Me. I've had a hard life on the streets, me. My knees are shot. I'm not very much good in a fight.
So we might as well just bring me.
Yeah. You're saying like I'm an old lady now. Not disagreeing with you. It's a good point, well made. But at least now you know who you need to protect. It gives you a wink.
Yep. Got plenty of those jobs.
You're looking after 2 of us now.
Do you have any ideas on work?
Oh yeah, lots of work. Not necessarily to your tastes, though.
Well, it seems like she wants something, some kind of gig that plays to us all or needs.
Kristian, have we heard of anything recently? Any conversations on the street? Any of us?
Yes, you have. So, Larkin, you know that your spirit tracker, your connection, he's heard of some jobs going. Echo, you've heard your contact has got some work potentially. And Swan, you've heard your contact has got some work potentially. So you know that your Larkin, your contact has a smuggling job. Echo, you know your contact has a theft job. And Swan, your contact has an assassination. You don't know any more than that. You just know the basics. So it's whether or not you want to pursue one of those.
So,
Well,
go on. You go first.
Would it be possible, and if I'm doing this wrong, please say, but there was mention of the study, and we moved into the study and there was information in there. Could I take a moment to survey the study to see if there are any interesting leads available in there?
Okay. Yes. Could you give me a survey roll, please? So however many dots you've got, if you've got none, it's 2 and you take the lowest, or however many dots you roll that many d6.
I have
if
one.
we help, is it still stress outside of?
Yes, it is potential stress if you help. So you can use a stress to give Echo 1 extra die, or you could push yourself, which means you take 2 stress, Echo, and you can have an extra d6. Or you could do a group action where you all survey, where someone leads it. However, for every failure you get in the group, that's how much stress they take.
I mean, Echo, I guess you can probably handle just looking around the drawing room.
I feel like we've got 3 other leads, so this is probably just to see if there's anything else there. He said confidently.
She should just go up into her attic. That'll give her a surprise or two.
Walk in there and just refill.
1. So you're looking around this study. Now, 1 is a failure, but it doesn't mean that you're not good at studying. But what it means is the information you will find is around about 50 years out of date. So the connections she had, everything she had, it looks like all of that fizzled out quite a long time. It is clear that she was once a billhook, one of the gang of Doskvol, but yeah, you don't find anything of any lead here.
Do we know anything about the kind of things that she used to do to get the reputation she has, to give us a steer on what kind of stuff she might enjoy going back to?
Ooh, that's a very, very good question. Again, this study is filled with relics from her past. You are welcome to use one of your skills to try and infer that.
I have no useful skills, but let's try. Probably survey again, isn't it?
Okay, yep. So give me 2 die.
look
If you have no
around.
dots in it,
Yeah.
then it's 2d6, and we'll take the lowest.
1.
Unfortunately not. It's not, again, it's not that she liked one job. You can see she's done thefts. You can see she's smuggled. You can see she's had a little bit of wet work in the past.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure back with our crew, I know a guy who wants someone taken care of.
No, we're sort of nursing home.
No.
Well, that's an option. I've got at least one lead to somebody who would like to acquire, wants something acquired from somebody else.
Wow. I've got my fingers in all the pies.
That explains the stains.
Oh no, that's not pie. That's definitely not pie. Don't be asking
So
what that
bad.
is.
I won't.
Well, how about we? How about we check out your two first? If they're good, we take them. If not, use me as my. I know someone who knows someone who knows someone, and maybe they can point us in the right direction.
Yeah,
mean-
we'll have to see how difficult each of these seems. You know, how likely it is that we can bring Aunty along with us.
And I just though before we move forward, address the elephant in the room. Yeah,
By all means.
he sort of looks. His eyes go glassy as he stares into the ether.
So,
Right, now that's done. Yeah, the other thing. Yeah, you can't see it. It's okay.
Can I roll a tune to see if I can see?
yeah, roll
If there
two.
is anything Barkin Larkin is actually seeing.
Yeah, roll your however many you've got.
Just got one.
Yep.
Oh, well, I rolled a 1 as well. Everyone's
Mm.
rolling ones today.
No,
So no.
no, you
This is going
whatever,
so well.
whatever Larkin's seeing. Hopefully, you're getting all the. But whatever Larkin's seeing, you can't see it.
But there's another matter. If we succeed, it's a big payday. This house, 6 coin, 4 of us, big house. If we all make it, of course, what we're going to do, how we're going to split it. You've all got good reps. I've not heard bad. Well, I've heard bad words about you all, but in a good way. You get my meaning. But what we're going to do? We're going to form some kind of union.
Guess it depends how the job goes.
Well, I'd rather know how we're
Start
going to split it before we commit. You know.
Well, we could form some kind of gang and carry on working together. But on the other hand, if this job goes dreadfully and I never want to see any of you again, then I'd rather sell my share.
Why don't we say
No, at this point.
it goes 4 ways, and we might decide to pool our resources in the future.
Reasonable, yeah. Wow. But you were all thinking it. If you weren't thinking it, well, I shouldn't be working with you in the first place.
How's Grimlyn taking all of this in?
She's kind of sitting back thinking, what is going on here? She was all for just tossing a coin to decide which job we were going to do, but investigating it also good. Yeah, she kind of is one of those people that she kind of like is taking it in, and she'll kind of step in at the last minute when she feels like something needs to be said. She'll let them all do the arguing and stuff, and then like much of her life, she'll step in at the last minute with the wrecking ball and just go, yeah, no, we're doing that. It's fine.
Brilliant. So,
Well,
over to you really on how you want to proceed.
We have 2 leads then. Swan, Echo, you have contacts. Like I say, we have a third with mine, but I'm not pushy. You said someone needs taking care of, and you said Someone needs something taken from them. What do you think best fits? Or should we go and meet your contacts and find out more?
Knowing a bit more might be good. A theft job might be more straightforward, or it might be more exciting, but maybe she wouldn't have the stealthy capacity. But we won't. It's difficult.
Why
Depends
don't we
if
start
we're stealing to order is less fun than just stealing it.
This is true.
But your contact may not be happy with that.
Well, why don't we speak to yours first, Swan? See what we find, and then
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you show Echo's yours, and I'm sure he'll show you his later.
Sure.
So, Swan, everyone's going to go see your contact. Your contact is Mercy. Now, where would you find Mercy normally? What sort of establishment?
Mercy will likely be in one of the taverns, which
Okay.
is the base of operations for his work, and where he also works
Yeah.
normally.
So the tavern that you go to, that you know Mercy works from, is the Happy Goat. Goats, as you know, in Doskvol have multiple functions. All of the hansom cabs in town are pulled by goats. There are no really uses for horses in Doskvol. Goats are an all-round animal. Goats that pull the hansom cabs are absolutely massive. So goats are a common sight and a friendly sight. Well, not that friendly if you're having one standing over you with teeth bared, ready to eat whatever is on you. However, that's by the by. So the Happy Goat is where you head to, and a place called Happy Goat, which has a smiling, cartoonish goat on the sign as it's swinging in the wind. You can hear grunts and groans coming from alleyways. You're not somebody having a very bad time, or if there's something more going on there. The crackling of the electric lights from outside lighting this sign are very loud and very buzzing. Inside is a rather quiet affair. People come to the Happy Goat to drink and to forget. And this is precisely what Mercy is doing when you arrive here. And did you say that Mercy is male, female, or
Mercy's male.
Male.
He's like a tall, very stocky guy. He looks a bit like a bodybuilder, but
Right.
like the world's strongest man kind of bodybuilder. Bald head.
Yeah, brilliant. And when you get in, you see he's got a lot of pints in front of him already. Hey, what are you here for? It's good to see you, Swan.
Hi, Mercy. Not at work today.
And who are these?
These are some new comrades.
Right.
You might have seen them around.
I've seen one or two of them around. Some of them I don't want to see again. He kind of glances towards Larkin.
Yeah. Well, you know Aunty Helen.
Oh, bless her. Hey, yeah, she's a good old dame. Should really go see her one of these. What?
She'd probably be glad to see you, Mercy. She's a little bit bored at the moment.
Oh, right.
Sort of in that vein, I wanted to ask you. I heard you had a job going.
Well, it's not me that's got a job. I found an opportunity. So, rumour has it the Spirit Wardens are offering the reward for a capture of the ghost of Edmund Thatcher, former clergyman. So, they either want you to do away with the spirit or capture it and bring it to them.
All right.
Now, he's taken residence in his favourite spot. There are others, though, who may pay you more coin for that spirit if you want, but you'll have to contend with the Spirit Warden.
So, all right. I wasn't really expecting it was a ghost job, but that guess that works well for me.
Post assassination.
Yeah. So, why would these others want him?
Well, he's a former priest. He So his favourite spot is a bawdy house named the Lucky Penny down in Silkshaw in the Red Lamp district. And well, they have him as a show, right? And he's a big attraction for them. Everyone's coming from miles around to see this priest tell his stories. Well, of course, the clergy themselves are a bit, annoyed because he's telling secrets that he shouldn't be saying and bringing the priesthood into, well, even more into ill repute. But, well, he is a star attraction. He brings the punters in. There are other brothels that want him too. If you could steal him, maybe other brothels would pay to him. The spirit wardens definitely want him gone, though. Like, you can't have a spirit here. But if they try and go in there, well, they're just going to get in a lot of trouble. And so far, no one's been able to find where to keep him.
Not something you fancied taking on, then?
That's just me. I don't do spirits, you know me. I do flesh and blood.
All right. Well, thanks for the details. We're looking at a couple of options.
All right. Well, if you do decide to take the job, just, spirit wardens will pay you for it. They'll pay you a coin for it. Other people might pay you a bit more. It's entirely up to you.
All right. See you later.
All right, cheers then. He says as he goes back to the 2 pints he's got.
Yeah.
Some.
And I'm not sure.
It's a couple of silver.
The amount of money, but yeah, I'll
Silver.
buy him a pint.
Yeah. And he sort of says cheers to all of you, and goes back to his lunch.
So if we go outside, sort of Echo, I don't know what you thought about that, but happy to still go and talk to your contact.
I mean, we can, but it does strike me that you seem to have some capability with spirits, and by all accounts, our friend here does too. So that's 2 people who have the right skills. One, I can be quiet and find things. So, seems like a good candidate. I'm happy to go and talk to my guy, but
Possibly.
we make a start.
Yeah, I guess we'd have to think about what we wanted to do with this guy and yeah.
Sounds like there's a way of making more friends elsewhere with this. We catch
Although
it
this city,
somewhere else.
spirits are everywhere.
Ah,
Even though
we might have me and the spirit wardens have, we've had words, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They might not want to. It's a long story.
What I'm guessing is if we go this route, you'd want to resell elsewhere.
Yeah.
We get more coin. We probably would get in with some of the locals. We'd want to keep it on the down low, though, from the ghost ones. So we don't want them after.
Don't want anybody after us, do we?
Oh, no, but not the government, that's sure.
Well,
let's go talk to your contact. Go. We might as well, and then
Okay.
we can discuss it back at the drawing room.
Okay. So you go and see Echo's contact, Frake, a locksmith. And Frake, where would Frake be?
we're like afternoon tea time, aren't we? So
Yeah.
we're midday. They would be at work.
Wonderful.
In their locksmithery.
Yes. And they have probably a small shop in a very commonly used area of Dusk. People are walking by. There are merchants selling there. You can see there is, unfortunately, a person deciding not far away to be beating their servant in the street, and people are just like, "Oh, servants!" And you head into the shop. And
Before
Fake
we
look-
do that,
yeah,
While while the noble is distracted, I'm just going to take a little saunter over there
Yep.
and see if I can't just pick their pocket while they're distracted with beating their servant.
Yes.
And then at some point, surreptitiously, I might see if I can hand off the item to their servant, but as long as it's not going to get the servant into trouble if they find them with it.
Brilliant. So, can you give me a roll? What skill are you going to use for this?
I'm going to try and finesse it because
Brilliant.
they're looking elsewhere, so they're already kind of
Yep.
misdirected.
Fantastic. Yep. Give me a finesse roll, please.
Oh God, 2.
Oh dear. They're beating their servant at the moment. You can obviously with other things you can always make it larger or take a devil's bargain. So with a 2, however, the person turns around and says, "Excuse me, what do you think you're doing? Oh, is one of you the unwashed masses?" And you can all hear this exchange happening. "Oh, were you going for my pocket? Were you going for what was in? You're one of those ne'er-do-wells."
I would never consider such a thing. I just saw that you were having some difficulty. You dropped something on the floor down there in the fracas. I'm terribly sorry. I was trying to help. And I'll use sway to try and persuade them that that's totally what I was doing.
So you can either push yourself, take 2 stress right now, and get an extra d6, or you can take a devil's bargain. Where, I mean, we're not in the job yet, but you can take a devil's bargain where you could get an extra dice, but there's going to be a consequence regardless.
Have they stopped beating on their servant to have this
They have,
conversation
yes.
with me?
They have.
Okay, excellent. If I can, so I think I'll take the stress by putting myself kind of in the way.
Okay, so you're going to take 2 stress and you can roll 6. So roll your sway.
Oh my God. It's a 1. Guys hate me.
So the dice tell a story, and this story is him going, "I'm going to go find the bluecoats. You, servant, whatever your name is, go fetch the bluecoats. I shall wait here, and I'm going to remember your face." And he just pouts at you as kind of the servant is on the floor looking around. He's like, go find them. And the servant kind of nervously gets up and just wanders off in a direction. Again, we're not in play yet,
Do
but
we
I'm going to
notice
start.
this?
Oh yeah, you noticed this.
All
I'm going to
right.
start a clock in free play. The clock's got 4
Wow.
segments, and it's going to say it called Bluecoats arrive.
All right.
On a
I'm gonna
positive note, that's easier to split 6 coins between 3.
We kind of could do with all the extra help, I think, at this point. Anyway, this guy's gone.
I will duck into the locksmiths
Yeah, like out of it.
relatively
Yep.
quickly to have a quick conversation.
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
So, the locksmith, your friend Frake, he's quite a nervous man, quite upper class, very thin. He says, hello. You're here for work, aren't you?
That's the aim. And I'm on a bit of a clock, so the quicker the better.
Well, I'll give you the information. So the word on the street is that the Lamp Blacks and the Red Sashes are both after Captain Gregory Eyegouger Boone's prized medal. Neither can make a move directly on it, or they'll face direct retribution from the Bluecoats. Mrs. Boone, of course, loves to host dinner parties that her husband rarely attends for being at work all the time. And Mrs. Boone likes to get the great and the good of Doskville to her little soiree, to come in and see it. She gets it out every dinner party. She'll get it out and show it to everybody. The Lamp Blacks and the Red Sashes will pay good coin for this little trinket. And rumor has it's on the premises in a safe. And I've heard she also likes to bring in extra servants for the night, because normally she's only got one, the butler, but she brings in extra servants to serve and cook because he's not enough, and she wants to show that she's wealthier.
Break. Thank you. So we get in, we get the thing, and we sell to either of the two.
Yes, 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 of course. And everyone knows the Lamp Blacks and the Red Sashes, two of the gangs in the city, hate each other. Absolutely hate each other. You would not be able to sell it to one without offending the other.
Okay. Anything else I need to know?
No, not that I've heard of.
Well, thank you very much, and I'll let you know. And those new lockpicks, by the way, great. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad, and you never got.
Never.
Good. And he smiles.
Okay. I will usher whoever else was in the shop with me out, and suggest we make a beeline elsewhere.
I think it might have just been you. I can't speak for Swan, but
Yeah.
I'm watching
Yeah.
what's
Yeah, I
going
was
on
trying
with
to-
Grimlyn.
So
Then-
whilst that's sorry, go ahead.
No, so I will duck out and rejoin my friends. Sorry, dying
Brilliant.
quietly over here.
So, given that's happened, what are you going to be doing when you all get back together then?
Well, I was going straight for Sarah
Yep.
when this was happening, so not necessarily when we're back together.
Yep, they're brilliant.
And I just wanted to go and glare at this rich Ponzi guy
Okay.
and tell him to get lost.
Are you going to use a skill for that?
I'm going to use command.
Okay, give me a command roll then, please.
1. What is with the dice today? All right, never mind. He's just going to laugh in my face.
He looks up at you and he just, you know, that look when people just look at you and you're not even part of their world, so they just ignore you. That's the look he's giving you. He doesn't even come to his mind. Someone would have the audacity to tell what to do. Larkin, what are you doing?
I'm sort of calculating the fact that 6 is also divisible by 2 at this moment in time. But as well as that, doing this maths, realizing the blue coats are probably on the way.
Yep, I'm going to fill a segment in.
I would like to have followed the servant to
Okay, yep.
not persuade them, but to somehow sort of slow them down. So
Okay.
it might be. Well, let us have that encounter first, and I'll let you choose what you want me to do.
Oh, as it is blazing in the dark. So actually, you choose. So
Yeah.
the servant is a gentleman. He's wearing quite good clothing. Looks like an under butler sort of type of person. Wearing a tie and a sharp suit, but not as well manufactured as the gentleman himself. And what he's kind of walking away rather slowly, looking around.
Yeah.
He's quite young, and he's like, "Oh God, what do here? Oh no, blue coats. Where to find the blue coats? Oh no."
You
Oh,
okay there, lad? Looking for something,
no.
someone?
I'm looking for where to find the blue coats. My master sent me over here to find one, and I don't know where they are.
Dangerous streets round here. You need to be careful. It's
I
okay.
don't-
It's okay. Don't worry. We're all was young once, weren't we? Now we were all young once.
Yeah, I'd like to live to get old, if that's all right, please, sir.
Oh God, do I look like I'm any trouble? Hey.
He looks you up and down, and he goes, "No."
There we go. Listen, bloody tabs keep going. I don't suppose you got any fire maker on you at all?
Oh yeah. And he kind of pats his pockets, and gets out a plasm lighter, and this small decorative lighter that it looks fairly nice. And kind of,
and
and
it's like literally a nub end, basically,
Yeah.
that I kind of, you know what, you are a gent.
oh, thank you very much, sir.
No, the streets are a little bit, you know, dangerous. Bluecoats don't really show their faces around here. If I was you, I would, you see, just round the corner there.
Yes, sir.
I just nip round there for a moment or two. Stay in sight of the street, but away. Oh, it seems like your master's being spoken to at the moment. But stay out of his sight. Just come back and either tell him they're on their way. You don't want to be going off by yourself down these streets.
Oh.
Who knows what strangers you'll meet? Sorry.
Okay, give me a roll, please. It's whatever you think it's going to be. I mean, I can recommend one, but
You recommend one. The only thing I've got really social is consort social.
consort is social, but that's more with your contact.
Yeah.
You're trying to persuade him to take a course of action, so that might be swear.
I'm just telling him that the streets are dangerous and perhaps not to stray too far.
Okay. Give me the consort roll then, if that's.
I'm more than happy for, because like everybody else has been rolling ones with skills they've got. I'm going to roll 2 dice with a skill I haven't got and take the lowest, which is most likely going to be a 1.
You sure don't want to push yourself or take a devil's bargain?
Oh, I mean, to save these people. I mean, as long as they're not going to notice that I'm actually on their side.
Yeah.
Then I'll push myself. I mean, I haven't even started this thing.
No, we haven't. We're 1 hour in. We've not got to the score yet. I love it.
But I think Barkin would push himself for his potentially new crew. They are almost part of his pack now. Yeah.
So that means you take 2 stress and give me 1d6.
So I get to roll 1.
Yes.
Okay.
It's better than 2 and take the lowest.
Is it though? It seems like it's not, to be honest.
I mean, the way we've been rolling, mirrors make no difference.
Oh, wait there. I'm going to do things that are tech here because I've rolled the dice. Can you see that?
It's a 9.
Yeah. I have broken realities.
It's an upside down 9. No, it's a 6. It's a 6. Fantastic. And he just goes, you know what? That's a great idea, sir. And he gets out his own cigarette and just kind of lights it and goes.
Don't suppose you got a spare of you?
He just says, for the help you've given me, sir, have the packet. And he gives you the whole packet of cigarettes.
No,
there are
no,
4 of them in there.
No, okay, go on then.
And he goes around the corner.
Yeah.
And this gives you enough time because I'm going to take another clock segment. You have 2 segments left before he's going to start being suspicious that the blue coats haven't arrived. So,
yeah. No, fine. So I'm just going to walk past these, kind of give them a look, and just carry on towards Echo, and hopefully get out of dodge.
Brilliant. So, are you all heading back to Aunty Helen's? Is there anything else you want to do with this gentleman who seems too indignant to actually listen to reality in front of him?
No, I'll take a very different route to everyone else, though.
Yeah, brilliant. So, you have a choice. You have an assassination of a spirit or a theft. Which one do you want to pick? And then we'll effectively get straight to the plan.
Okay.
So, from my perspective, I feel like the theft is the riskiest of the 2 because we will definitely make an enemy if we get it right. If we pull it off, we'll definitely offend someone, and 2 groups that are not very nice people to not be friends with.
Unless we steal it and then we don't give it to either of them because it's Auntie's prize, and then they both can claim they have it but can't prove it.
That's an interesting idea.
That's a gamble that I both love and am terrified of.
And
yeah, would both groups keep coming after us potentially if they ever found out?
That would be the risk. Because if that as a gamble backfires, we then make two big enemies instead of one big enemy. Whereas potentially we make friends with a brothel or bawdy house or...
Yeah. I guess we'd be making enemies with the one that hasn't currently, but they're not likely to be such a danger.
Yes.
we also embarrass some really rich toffee-nosed people.
Yeah. I like the idea that we could get him to be rented out some way. Maybe we keep him. Install him in some kind of device.
So, like, rent him out.
Spirit
Yeah.
for hire.
Yeah.
Rent a ghost, if you will.
Indeed.
Sorry.
Then, of course, we could potentially have the spirit ones finding out about that. It's an interesting business.
I think my instinct is we go with spirit capture.
All right. Yeah.
But I am happy to be argued with.
Well, we can
Disagree
check in with Auntie if she's interested. Barkin, I guess you're the spirit expert. Do you think assassination / relocation of him is doable, easy?
No. None of this is easy. You know this. We don't
I meant
do
relatively.
easy.
For...
Not for 6 coin, not for a house. We don't do easy. What you're asking is, are you lot up to the job? Yeah, of course you are. I've heard good things about you all. I mean, apart from the fact of, trying to steal someone's purse and all of that kind of nonsense. Other than that, it was good, really. So, as far as I'm concerned, you're all good sods, yeah.
But you, I mean, I can deal with ghosts to a point, but I think it's going to be your wheelhouse to do the actual. Is that?
Hey, I just
a
talked
skill
to him.
You've got?
I've got this thing. If we're being, if we're being open, I think it's a good time for us to all put our cards on the table, as it were. I've got a vice, you see, which makes me somewhat nervous about this job. You see, I addicted to being, I like it so much when they take me.
Ghost?
Possession.
Oh. Well, I guess that could come in handy potentially.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't have any control. I don't control them. They control me. I like that freedom. I might,
It might be a way of transporting him.
Well, he won't be transporting him. He'll be using me to move.
Well, yeah, but
Don't get me wrong. I quite fancy it. Even now, I'm feeling a sweat. Seriously, you've never really known it.
I don't let them get that close.
No, you should try it. But
well, I don't think it's a reason to not take the job. It sounds potentially viable.
Just being open to you. Just being open. you know,
Would you, if your role in the job required you to not get possessed, would you not be able to stop it?
well, it's. I would try and act as professional as one could, you know, but my resolve in stopping such things can be broken, but it would still be there, obviously, if I thought. But the idea of a lusty priest riding me is, well, what can I say? I can see
Well,
from your faces none of you have
we've
really
not had
thought that
problem.
through. No, neither
No.
have I, but it's on the table now. It is on the table.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
which job do you want to do?
Well, having heard this, are you still feeling the same?
I'm willing. Of course I'm willing. I'm in.
Not you.
All right. Well, I'll go and stand in the corner then.
I think my main concern is I'm not sure we can blag our way into a party, whether we're servants or not.
Yeah. It's I don't know this party. That's not my circle. You'd have to try and get an invitation, or as you say, try being a servant. Try find a back way in. There's always a way, but yeah, it's less accessible certainly.
Yeah, I feel like we're, even if there's a risk, ghost priest is the way to go,
Okay.
I think.
So, is that something that Grimlyn agrees with?
Yeah, Grimlyn's happy to go along with that. Just
Brilliant.
have some mad
So-
mental images there.
Yes, unfortunately, there are all things burned in
Yep.
our mind that we'll
Yep.
never get rid of. So, what happens now is instead of taking ages to plan and plan how you're going to get in, we actually cut straight to the action an hour and a quarter in. So, I'll give you a little bit of information about the brothel first, and then we go through the potential methods of ingress. So, the brothel is in a canal called Widewater, one of the widest canals in Silkshore, which you all know to be the Red Lamp District. And it's home to many houses of desires. All tastes are catered for here in the district. The Lucky Penny is one such of these establishments. It is a 4-story yellow stone building with frontage made up of columns and arches. Pipe work crawls up the outside of the building with industrial ivy, reaching chimney stacks on the roof, billowing out black smoke. The whole building leans slightly, threatening to fall into the canal at any moment. The Penny boasts 3 entrances, one by bridge, one by gondola, and one is a secret known only to insiders to come and go as they please. The entrance is by gondola, but no one knows where it is. So we go straight to the planning stage, which is where you essentially gets you straight to the action, and you have a choice of 6 different methods of getting yourself in there, and all you need to do is with the detail. So you may either assault the brothel, which is where you do violence to a target, and what I need to know is the point of attack. You can go in by deception, lure, trick, or manipulate. The detail is the method of deception. You can use stealth, where you can trespass unseen, and the detail is the point of infiltration. You can use occult, engage a supernatural power, and the detail is the arcane method. You can use social, which is where you negotiate, bargain, or persuade, and the detail is your social connection. Or transport, where you carry cargo or people through danger, and I need to know the route and the means. And this is basically getting you to the inside and to the first port of call. You can ask me at this point to gather some information from your contacts or whatever, but we are not doing deep planning of this is how we're doing it. So this is what we do. So assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport. Which one of those methods do you want to choose?
Can I make a suggestion?
Please go for it.
I would potentially suggest social because Grimlyn knows an apothecary, and I'm fairly sure that some of the people who work in the brothel might visit an apothecary from time to time to avail themselves of remedies that they need.
Know what you mean?
And yeah, we could have organised, to hang around, kind of make some contacts, make an agreement, maybe pass some coin or do a favour for one of them to let us in via a secret entrance or be inconspicuous.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I feel like Echo would have not necessarily the same sorts of contacts, but those who populate the brothel would probably, some of them he would cross paths with, so we'll be able to do a little bit of conversation and interrogation to gather some more information about it as well.
So what you've just mentioned is actually part of the engagement role next. So that's good that you've got in mind your contacts that can help you. So it sounds like social. So the social connection you want to use is your apothecary. Is everyone happy with that?
Yep, makes sense.
I'm up for it, absolutely.
Brilliant. So now we've got your social connection and that you're going with the social plan. You now need to choose your loadout. This is where you choose how many boxes of load you're going to have going into the operation. The more boxes of load you use, the heavier and the slower you'll walk, and the more obvious you'll be. Whereas the fewer boxes of load, the less conspicuous you'll be. Remember, you're going into a brothel. But you might be let in, you want to go in through a secret door or whatever. So you could use your social connection to get in through to the back ways.
I think I'd just say normal.
Okay, you're going to take normal. Make sure you
Yeah,
mark it off and you know how many boxes you'll get. What about
I'd do
you, Barkin,
normal.
Larkin? That normal for you, Grimlyn?
It's a good question. I think I'm
Aunty
going to
Helen.
go I think I'm going to go normal load.
Brilliant. So Aunty Helen is absolutely ecstatic to be taking on this assassination. And she tells you, oh, it's been years since I've done wet work. I won't get in the way. I won't get in the way. And she kind of dodders along you. Not quite slow enough that you can walk with her, but too fast for you to walk with her, but slow enough that you can't really easily run because you're low. So we now do the engagement roll. Now this determines your success at your method of ingress, so you're getting to the action. So first I'm going to ask the question, we have one dice for luck. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? What do you reckon, folks?
I mean, we're not overly being open. We're not like assaulting a place or anything like that. It's more subtle, isn't it?
Yeah, we're getting let in.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target where they're weakest?
A little bit. We're getting let in the back way.
Okay.
Yeah, because the weak point would be members and knowledge, inside knowledge.
Yeah.
Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for the operation? Yes. That's 3d6 you've got so far. Are there any enemies or rivals interfering with the operation? Would any of your enemies interfere with this sort of thing? Do you?
Quite possibly mine, just because they are like messing with me. But
okay.
I will leave that to you to decide, basically.
Yeah. I'll take one away. And yes, that means you've got 2d6. So much like everything else, a 1, 2, 3 is a failure. A 4 or 5 is a success with a complication, and a 6 is an outright success. So, you are very lucky. I got a 6.
Hey.
So apparently I can roll well tonight, which means that
makes a change.
Just you.
Yeah. So, Grimlyn, your apothecary friend Stasia, basically gives you some parcels, and you and the rest of the crew manage to make your way in a side door that Stasia normally uses to drop off these things. At which point you are met by a lady called Una Savoy. Una is one of the courtesans working there, and she looks at you all and just says, "Oh, Oh, you're all new. Well, isn't this fun? Well, Stasia knows the normal rule. I'll take these, thank you very much. The girls and boys will be very happy. But feel free to have a look around and see whatever you want to do, but just stay out of the way of the security. Stacia did tell you about the security, didn't she?
A reminder would always be welcome.
Oh, well, you know this place. This place is protected by the Grey Cloaks. The Grey Cloaks you all know to be former Bluecoats who formed a gang. Bunch of thugs. It's one of the medium gangs in town. But she says, yes, they do all the security here. I mean, they're very kind to us. Not so kind to those who work against us. But well, if you see them, I'm sure you can explain it to them. Just be careful. Oh, and the show starts. Show starts in half an hour. And she wanders off. So I'm going to put another clock called Show Starts. And the show she is alluding to is The Priest.
Okay.
So it's going to be a clock with 6 segments.
Oh.
So you are currently on the ground floor of the brothel, where there is a main entrance, a cabaret theatre, and these back rooms and kind of service rooms. There are members of staff walking around. It seems that they're kind of the ones on this floor anyway are paying not too untoward for people to be in these backstage areas. So
Right.
what do you do?
So I'm glad that we really thought this through and planned for an age on this. Let's be about it.
Can you sniff him out? Do you know which way we're heading? And I will try to do an attunement.
Yes, if you want to, if that's what you want to try and do.
Well,
and what are you looking for? What are you going to be?
I'm
Describe
trying to
what you do.
sense. I'm calling on the supernatural blood that flows through me.
Yep.
Thanks to the bite that was given me when I was younger, and sniffing out this supernatural ghostly essences, but obviously this ghost is probably going to be the stronger of the presences here, is what I am suspecting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, nothing particularly at the moment, just getting a sense, see if I can get the scent as not so much a bloodhound, but a rancid Jack Russell might do.
Right. Yep. I've got that image in my head. Thank you.
Wow.
Roll your dice. 2
dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you want to push yourself.
Well,
you rolled, so.
Yeah. You're not going to believe this, but I don't care. I've got a 2.
Yep.
And a 6.
Wonderful. So 6 means you succeed. And again, in the moment you're in quite a controlled position because you're not a million. You're standing around. No one's bothering.
Mm-hmm.
You look around. Are you sniffing? Is that how you do it?
Yeah. It's kind of like I've become not possessed. This isn't a ghostly possession. This is something else. Like a Jack Russell, basically.
Okay. So you're sniffing around, and I said there are other people around, but you immediately get this feeling that you're on the ground floor. You're kind of at the waterline, but it feels like it's below you. However, you hear someone go, "Yeah, what's that guy doing over there? He's sniffing on the ground. Should he be in here?"
Because I rolled a 6, which is a success without
Yeah.
complications, can I just raise my head and snarl at him? The way that, Jack Russells don't have any kind of size, but there's that viciousness about them.
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
Yeah, no, you snarl at them and they just run away immediately. But no, you succeed in finding exactly where this. You've got a really good idea of where it is, and really the person's just looking at everyone like, "Oh, well, I guess that's his thing then," and just kind of toodles off like a little bit. Oh, weird.
Sorry, can I clarify as well?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure whether I understood. It's below the ground, but supposedly there's water below there rather than.
No, sorry, because you're on the canal.
Yeah.
So you're on the ground floor, which is kind of water, and this feels like it's like a cellar. Level.
Yeah. So they haven't kind of, because like spirits obviously don't need to breathe. They haven't got him contained like underwater.
No, it feels like there's like feels like there's a cellar level. But how you get there, you don't know.
Okay. So I'll sort of calm down a little bit and sort of right myself, put my hat straight, light up another. This is one of the. I'm going to start on a new one that servant gave me.
Does it already look quite tattered?
Oh yeah, I kind of when I went down sniffing on the floor, they were already all sort of crumpled and broken.
Brilliant.
I'm below a cellar. No idea how to get there.
Well, that's a start.
But that's where he is at the moment.
Well, shall I go and quietly look for one?
If you can find a way down, that would be good.
I would like to prowl about stealthily.
Wonderful.
To try and find an entrance to a cellar. Or
Brilliant.
if there are multiple ones, that would be good too.
Go for it, Echo. So first, you're going to try and move stealth, prowling. So give me a prowl.
Okay, I have 2 glorious dots. So let's roll 2 glorious dice and see what goes wrong. That's a 2 and a 4.
Okay, so that's a success with a complication. So in this case, you're kind of walking around. Unfortunately for you, the gentleman from before who went ew at Barkin Larkin, you realize as you're sneaking around, he's round the corner. You are being really, really quiet here. However, you end up walking right into them just for a moment. And he looks at you and goes, "Here, mate, your friend, is he available? Because we got some people with tastes like you."
He's fully booked for this evening, I'm afraid.
I'll tell you what, he's great.
We are. Well, he's an acquired taste, as you say.
He scared the life out of me, but I loved it. I mean, we got so many people who pay so much coin.
I will let him know, but we are in the process of setting up his calendar for the next month or so. So if you're back here in 3 days' time, we'll be able to sort out a booking, I'm sure.
You're a star. And this person just kind of walks off to one of the side rooms, leaving you to continue your prowl maneuver unmolested. As you're prowling around,
it's a side hustle for you there, Larkin.
You overhear, you kind of get to a corner and you stop because you realize round this corner in this corridor, 2 grey cloaks are having a conversation. Here. It's nearly time. You got the key for the cellar? No! I don't have the key. You know it's with Death Grip. He doesn't like being called that. You call him Captain Baxter. Yeah, well, I was there back in the old days. I know how he got the name Death Grip, yeah. I know we don't like to talk about that. So he's got the key then. Yeah, I'll go get it in a bit. It's in Death Grip's office. Yeah, all right, I'll head up in a bit and go get it. Is he in his office? No, you know Death Grip at this time of the day, he's always upstairs. All right. Some benefits of being a captain then, isn't there? What do we get? Nothing. Yeah. Bollocks, isn't it? And they sort of split up and go their ways.
Okay. Well, with that, I would endeavour to continue to try and find a route down, but also find Captain Baxter's office.
Okay. So, for the route to find the door that might lead to the cellar, you're going to have to roll for some kind of search or whatever you want to do. You've prowled around to secretly find your way around, but what are you going to do to find the door?
Then that's going to need to be a survey, isn't it? Well, no, it's probably hunt, actually, isn't it?
Whichever one you want to justify using.
The one that gets me a decent roll, ideally.
It's not my job to tell you, though.
On
That's
the basis
joy of
that
Blades in the Dark.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna go with hunt. Go on.
Yep. So you want to try and find information about the target mark. You're trying to find it in where they are.
What I'm trying to do is find the entrance to the cellar.
Yeah. Okay.
And then also, if I can, the office where the key that will facilitate access is.
Okay, that's fine. So you can give me a hunt roll if you wish. Then you can push yourself to get an extra D6. You can take a devil's bargain. You can take someone. Well, you're on your own at the moment, so you can't lead a group action.
So if I've got no dots, and I can push myself. What that actually gives me is one dice rather than the 2, and I take the lowest.
Take the lowest, yes. Or you could take a devil's bargain to get 1 dice, where you don't take the stress, but you do take a consequence.
I don't like consequences. They might be bad.
Yes, they will always be bad. That's Blades in the Dark.
I'm going to push myself, so I take a stress.
Take 2 stress.
2 stress.
Yep.
Which I do. Yep, cool. Okay. 2 stress, and I'm going to roll. You got a 6 last time. Let's see what happens. 1.
You absolutely fail. You're walking around and you have no idea because nothing's labeled. All the doors are really clearly people that know this place know where they're going. So you're kind of wandering around, not knowing where any of these doors lead. The only thing you manage to find is some stairs up. But while that's going on, everybody else, so Barkin, Larkin, Barkin, Larkin, Grimlyn, and Swan. What are you 3 doing? You're still all together as you've seen Echo go off.
I guess at this point, I'd like to survey to see if I spot any of the guards. Are any routes that look like they might be guarded?
Okay. Yep.
2. That's not any better, really.
No. Again, around this area where you are now, you kind of have a quick look around. You don't seem to find anywhere that's guarded now. All the guards are elsewhere. Grimlyn, anything from you?
So while they were going off looking, I was figuring that I would have asked Stasia to make an extra parcel or a couple of small parcels. And I'm going to try the charm offensive of
So-
trying to chat to some of the workers who are there, maybe kind of like offer them a little bit of extra stuff, as a way of sparking up some conversation and sort of saying, oh, so what's it like to work here, and just try and engage them in a bit of conversation about, what they think about this new show that's going on. And if there's any resentment in there, then maybe push that a little bit to get them to give me a bit more information.
This is a flashback. So this is the flashback mechanic that I spoke about earlier, before. So this means you can go back and effectively Bill and Ted it. So you're going back. We're flashing back here to when you could have asked Stasia to make you some extra parcels. Now, I'm going to need a roll from you to do this, and you are going to take 1 stress because this isn't a terrible thing for you to do. It's not a massive, but it is something that isn't immediately easy because she's giving you extra. So, what are you going to use?
I think it has to be sway.
Yeah. Now remember, you can take a devil's bargain. You can push yourself to take 2 stress. Devil's bargain might not result in stress. It might result in something else happening or another kind of another consequence. But you will get an extra D6. So would you like to take a devil's bargain?
I will, because my dice have been shocking.
Wonderful. So here's my devil's bargain. You can have an extra D6 in this. However, there is going to be an irregularity in Stasia's books that she then has to explain, which eventually may come back to bite you in the future. End up in basically that translates into you might take some, well, you will take some heat.
It's fine with me.
Brilliant. So you're going to get a level of heat and roll your D6.
So this is an extra D6 to go with the D6 I have. Is that right?
Yep. So you roll 2 and take the highest. Or if you get 2 6s, let me know.
My highest roll was a 3, but at least it's not a 1.
No, but unfortunately, that's still not a. And she kind of says, I can't. I just can't give you extra things. Look, all these books are checked, and I've already given you stuff that I mean, I shouldn't be giving it to you in the first place. I'm going to get questioned by my boss why I didn't deliver it myself. This is, look, no, I'm sorry. I can't. We're friends, and we'll always be friends, but right now, I can't do any more than I've done, I'm afraid.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, you don't have any extra packets. However, you can try and schmooze if you wish with some of the courtesans and others around here. There are many hanging around. There's courtesans, gigolos, everything. Everyone under the sun is here. All tastes seem to be catered for that are legal.
Okay. What can I give them now? I think I'm just still going to try and be charming. Okay. It's not Grimlyn's key skill, but
no.
So just try and chat with them about how it's going. Strike up a conversation. Say, "Oh, are you looking forward to the show? I hear it's really great. I've never seen it." That kind of thing, and give them an opening to talk about it.
Okay. Well, are you going to be trying to use one of your skills for this?
Yeah, I'd stick with Sway because I don't know these people. So I'm just trying to strike up a conversation. I think that's probably the best one.
Yep.
Don't be a 1. Oh, it's gone on the floor. I'll roll another one. 2.
People are a bit cagey towards. they're very well. I mean, the show, you can see the show for your, and like, well, no, I don't think I want to. No, I'm sorry, I've got to get ready for the after show, and everyone's really too busy, or they're too predisposed with their own pleasures or fancies to really want to talk to you too much, which is a shame. And Barkin, we'll go back to you. What would you like to do? Is there anything you'd like to
Oh,
do to help out with
absolutely,
this?
absolutely. With 100% confidence in the rest of the crew and my newfound pack, I find myself sitting on one of the crates in the corridor, smoking my tab and eating these sandwiches that I got stuffed into my pocket. I've done my job, and
Okay.
they're professionals, aren't they?
Yep.
Until I know different, I've got every confidence in them. So
Brilliant.
if someone comes up to me, I'll obviously engage them,
Yeah.
but
No. Fine now.
I'll just be in their way. I got no muscle or skill hiding or chatting to people. I speak to
Brilliant.
dead
So,
people.
so, eventually you kind of all find yourselves, especially back together with no further knowledge on actually, you know where the spirit is. It's down below. You know the spirit, you know now, because I'm going to tick a clock. Time has passed. This is 6-segment clock for show starting. You've had 1 segment ticked so far. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a 5-minute break. So feel free to get up, walk around, do a quick jog, whatever you want to do. Please, everybody, stay in chat. We'll interact with you in chat for the next sort of 5 minutes, and we'll try and restart everything again at around about kind of, let's say 10-2. So we're gonna have a quick 9-minute break. But thank you very much for watching so far. Just 9 minutes. We're going to keep the stream going though. So yes, please rejoin us in a little bit.
Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to One Last Score. So at the moment, you've all been standing around, and Aunty Helen is with you all as you're back, and she just goes, "You know, dears, I thought it'd be a bit more exciting than this. I mean, I want excite. We got to find this. Got to find this ghost. We got to assassinate it or capture it or take it somewhere. And well, all
Well, I
I've
think
seen is
Echo went-
corridor."
I know, Auntie, but I think Echo went to find out some stuff.
I tried. I found out some things. I didn't find any doors down. But I know the key to the door downward is in Captain Baxter's office. Captain Baxter,
Oh.
known as Death Grip for
Oh yes.
apparently obvious reasons. Is this a name you recognise, Auntie?
Oh yeah, I know. Old Death Grip. Yeah, he got it when he was a member of the Blue Coats, because that's what he used to do to people.
Right.
Not brothel
Yeah.
related.
Good.
Oh, not brothel related. No, just murder related.
Well,
He's a right git.
Well, by all
We can
accounts, he
work with it.
stays upstairs until the show, so we have some time. If I could only find his office.
She pats you on the chest and says, "Oh, don't worry, dear. Yeah, don't worry. I'm sure you'll find it. I mean, I don't know where I'd have an office." Well, don't worry, dears. I'm right behind you. Dodder, you can hear a walking stick rattling on the creaky floorboard. You're not quite sure if the creaking is actually the floorboards or her limbs.
I look at Echo. Did they say upstairs or did they say office?
They said the key's in his office. He's upstairs.
Right. Let's go look then. I start walking into the brothel.
Brilliant. So you walk through these corridors that are all quite narrow. Cracking plaster on the wall tells you that no one is really supposed to see this bit. You're very aware from the frontage of the quite lavish, quite opulent, and you can see through glimpses of curtains into the main area of the brothel where it is all red velvet and dim lighting, except out here it's all buzzing electrical lights, lanterns on the wall just give you so little yellow light that you can see the shadows dancing around in the corner of the room. This building is old and it creaks when you move through it. You can hear everyone's conversations, you can hear everyone's footsteps, but because there are so many going on, it's a cacophony. Hopefully all these conversations are being said by the living and not by those that are beyond. But that doesn't play on your minds for too long, or maybe it does. Eventually you come to this staircase which goes up. It is a utility staircase at the back of the building. Again, there's dim lighting that throws dark shadows into the corners. It's almost as if the upstairs of this building is unlit, given the amount of light you can see coming from. You can try and go up these creaky stairs if you wish, or there are many doors off of these corridors. Try and open should you wish to.
Just want to clarify again with you, Echo. Where you overheard the guards, were they guarding the door to the cellar, or were they just
They
having
were
conversations?
They were standing
I
by a door.
Were they? I thought they were just in the corridor round
They're
the
in
corner
a,
from me.
yeah, but they were standing by it. I didn't say at the time, but they were standing near a door at that point.
They were by that door.
Right, so we have a number of options here. If you don't mind me throwing them into your mind space for you to jiggle and juggle with them until something lands, we can
Throw away.
either attempt to cajole the guards through through violence or through chat to let us down into the cellar. Maybe something about spirit needs to be pacified. I don't know. I don't do the words that you speak will have to be spoken. I'll just do the spiritual stuff, or we can go and try and find the key. If we get this key, we'll be able to open the door, which the guards won't be able to do. So I suppose we need the key to get through the door, unless you, Swan, think you can kick 7 bells out of the door to get us down there.
I mean, I might be
Possibly.
able
It
to
depends
talk
how
the
good the
door out.
lock is, really.
Well,
I mean, I'm fine
uh,
with going and dealing with the guards, but there are 2 of them. So we could try and push them for the key location, take them out if afterwards, but we wouldn't have anywhere to hide them necessarily.
Echo, your
But equally, we don't want to
contact.
just go around looking for the key forever.
Yeah, your contact. He was a locksmith, wasn't he?
He was.
I don't suppose you got some kind of talent with locks.
I mean, you might say that.
Oh, bugger. I wished you got talent with locks. Oh, you mean you got talent with... Sorry, I don't do subtleties.
Self-deprecation, I will not bother next time.
The dead tend to speak their mind mainly because you're commanding them to, so you know, you don't have nuances. Normally it's I'm going to kill you, or if I'm lucky I'm going to possess you, and yeah, well, go on then, do your worst. And they tend to do that, and it's glorious. So we can take care of the guards. You can get us through the door. We go down. We do the thing. We'll all be home with.
Well,
What does Aunty think, eh? Aunty, do you want to see some
Ow.
violence?
Oh, I'd love to see some violence theories, but well, I don't know. These days, I might not be able to stop myself from going too far. Although saying that, we are here to get a spirit, and if we create one, well, maybe that's the one we can kill. That wasn't the
door
job,
that the
was it?
guards- Sorry.
No.
Sorry, Echo. Sorry, you go along.
We
Mark,
don't
a
want to
bit.
make the bell go off. Bring attention.
No. Echo?
The door that the guards were in front of when they were chatting.
Mm.
Can I go over and try and have a look to see whether it's locked, or I can open it, and if it isn't locked, attempt to get through it.
Okay, so it is locked. I mean, it doesn't cost anything for you to go over and try the lock.
Yeah.
The door is a plain wooden door. It's one of the ones with a sort of what's it called? Not a Yale lock, the other kind of lock. The big key lock. Big key lock is what it is. Deadbolt, that's the word. So yes, it is a deadbolt, and it looks like there is a big key that goes into it to unlock this door. But yes, beyond it, you don't know. But it's definitely locked.
And if it's a big deadbolt with a big old keyhole, looking through the keyhole, does that give any indication what's beyond the door?
No, it's dark.
Helpful. Even if I were to make use of my dark sight goggles?
If you have dark sight goggles, okay. Can you give me a if you've got goggles, and I will take that into account with the effect.
Sorry, I missed part of that. Can I
sorry.
give you a
roll? Give me a roll, please.
Anything in particular, or just a roll with a dice?
Whatever skill you think is best for you to use here. But the effect will be increased because of your dark sight goggles, so you'll actually have a better effect at this.
Yeah. Okay, then I think it's probably survey.
Yep. Perfect. So remember, you can push yourself, or anything else. Take a devil's bargain.
No, I'm just going to try a roll, see what happens.
Okay.
I'm going to use a different dice.
And remember, you've got flashbacks to use as well.
Yes, not sure that will work. That's a 5.
Ah, wonderful. So, using your dark vision goggles, you see into your low light goggles. You can see down that there is a set of stairs going down. The complication, however, is that you immediately have to recoil because as you're looking down, the light switches on and blares your vision with light for a moment, momentarily blinding you. Only momentarily. No boxes of harm are going to be ticked here, but yes, you just for a few moments you see spots in your eyes as you can see that someone has turned the light on the stairs.
Okay. And there's stairs down.
Stairs going down.
That's the way down.
I'm ticking another box in the clock. You have 4 segments left before the show starts.
This is the way down. Somebody's potentially down there, so if we go down, we may need to deal with someone. Someone turned on the light.
Auntie gets her cane and does a, and you can see it's got a sword inside. She goes, "Don't worry, dear. I'm ready to go."
Okay.
We can take him. Bring him all on.
You're
I'd like
going
to
to
try a flashback.
Okay. Well, so we'll deal with that first one, and then we'll go to you, Lynn. So, Swan.
So I would say we would assume the brothel would have some security.
Yep.
And would have made inquiries about what that was and found out about Captain Death.
Okay. So, who are you going to? Who would you talk to about this? Do you have any idea? Would you use your?
I've been working like as a mercenary.
Okay. Yep.
So they would probably have connections where they've been hired to do work with the Great.
Brilliant. So give me a roll. What do you want to use?
Consort, I guess.
Sounds good. So do you have any dice in consort? No?
One.
Again, you can push
Could-
yourself or you can take a devil's bargain should you wish to.
I'll push myself.
Okay, so that means you take 2 stress.
That got me to a 4.
Wonderful. No, 4 is a success with a complication. So, you ask around, and one of your mercenary chums goes, "Yeah, I know. I know the lucky penny. bunch of former blue coats in there, the grey coats. Nasty buggers, vicious, the lot of them. Tell you what, that death grip. He's a randy fella. I mean, the reason he moved in on that brothel was so he could spend all of his time upstairs. These days, I swear, from what I've heard, he spends more days down and around everything else. Death grip, more like celery grip these days."
So he's not actually up with the ladies anymore?
Who said he was up with the ladies?
Well, with brothel inhabitants.
Yeah, he's upstairs. He's upstairs doing whatever it is he does, enjoying himself. But yeah, I've heard these days he's not too active. But the other grey cloaks, well, vicious bastards, all of them.
Do you think they've lost respect for him?
Oh, I think if they found out they respect for him, yeah. I mean, he's, all bark and no trousers. And quite frequently, from what I've heard, he's no
All right.
However, you've asked about this. And this was in a relatively public setting, sort of in a pub. and you've been overheard. But you have that information.
So I will have also passed this on.
Brilliant. Grimlyn, you were going to do something.
I was just going to ask Echo if we were going to go open this door.
I can give it a go.
Can we define
On
we?
the hand. Oh, okay. I can help.
Well, you can. You can do a group action if you wish. If you wish to open this door and you wish to have the highest chance of success, you can do a group action, which is where one of you leads it, but that's the person that's going to take the stress. But you each roll, even if you have no dot, you can still roll 2 dice. But again, if you fail, then you'll take that many stress. The maximum you can take is 4 stress because there's 4 of you. Aunty Helen is not participating in group action. So if you wish to lead a group action in trying to open the door, you need to pick a stat that you'll pick a skill that you're going to use, and you can all roll it. That's if you want to do it as a group action.
I feel like that might be the most sensible maneuver. On the
Brilliant.
basis of bad rolls. And if I'm
So-
leading it, then it feels like finesse is the right way to do it. But
Brilliant.
I'm also happy to be
Nope.
convinced
No,
otherwise.
that sounds good for luck.
Cool. So everybody, could you roll me finesse, please?
So if you've not got it, 2 dice and the load.
2d6. Yep. And let me know if you got a 1, 2, or a 3. Well, let me know what your highest success is. Your highest number is 2. So that's 1 stress, 2 stress.
6.
1. So you've succeeded. And what about you, Echo? What did you get?
I got a 5.
Brilliant. So you take 2 stress from that group action. However, the highest roll is a 6, which means. So describe how you would help this finesse for him to open the doors, Swan. What would you be doing?
I mean, that's a good question because I'm not really very finesse based.
Can
But
I
potentially,
suggest using your strength to lift the door up a little to make it easier for
yeah.
the
So, like,
lock to
if
be?
we're going slightly outside the finesse, I was going to say potentially looking at the mechanism itself and like giving it a bit of a wrench where needed to make the picks go in. But yeah, some kind of variation on that.
Doors hanging weirdly, so you're just aligning the
Yeah,
locks where they
exactly.
need to-
Get it into a good position for you.
Brilliant. That's wonderful. Thank you very much, Swan. So yes, the door opens, and you see, and it creaks open slowly. You can hear the continuous buzzing and crackling of the electric. Still, the wiring in this building is absolutely dreadful, and you can also hear the sound of water lapping against the side of the building. The walls down here, you can see where the outside. There is, of course, a slight leak. And now the door's open, you hear the droning, the constant droning of an electric pump.
GM quick mechanics question, if I may.
Yep.
Use of items,
Yes.
I'm crossing those off and they count against my loadout. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah. So you say, I'm going to use a box. I'm going to use this. So if you've used your tools, you would cross off your the tools that you've used. You still have access to them for the rest of the adventure. And when you hit the limit of what you took in your loadout, that's your limit. You don't get any more.
Cool. Thank you.
Brilliant. So the door is open, and Aunty Helen goes, smells a bit off down there. Smells like Larkin.
Just
No
Yeah.
offense,
Yeah.
Stevie.
Kind of ghost.
Well, you get some plasm on you sometimes, you know. Once you get taken over, the seepage. Can't help it.
No, it smells more like old socks to me.
I ain't got any socks.
That's probably why, dearie. It's probably why, Poppet. Right. And she says, "Who's going first? Do you want me to go down first?" Shh.
Swan.
Maybe Echo. You wanna...
I will prowl my way and see what's ahead at least.
All right, but I'm here if you need me, dearie, right behind.
I'll keep an eye behind to see if it has.
Yeah. So you're going to prowl down. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. 4. Yeah, 4.
Brilliant. So you go down this set of stairs. It's really, really creaky. Thankfully, there's a noise, the noise of the droning of the pump that as you go down the stairs, it's sort of drowning it out somewhat. You also notice when you get down here that the floor, you get down to this basement area, and it looks like it is the floor sort of building, this kind of basement area, and you see there is a large, it does look like there's a large partition, so it looks like the basement's been cut in half, and you see what at the other side of the basement is another set of stairs going up, which looks like it goes up to another area in the building. This partition is I said it's kind of plaster, looks relatively new, but the complication is when you get down here, somebody, you hear them cough, and you splish on the floor, and they go, "Oh, is somebody there?" "Sir, if you come back, is it? Can I leave now, sir? Please, sir." "Oh,
Excuse me, I was looking for the restroom. I seem to have lost my way."
stepping out from behind. So in this basement, loads of crates and bottles. It looks like it's a storeroom for above. So stepping out behind some of these crates is a rather wiry looking with a mop, and he's got sort of bedraggled hair, and his clothes are very tattered. Imagine a male Epen from a male Cosette from Les Mis, and he's kind of holding this mop, and he's kind of walking out and he's shaking. "Sir, no bathroom down here, sir. You'll have to go back up, sir. Yeah, I'm not allowed to talk to people, you know, sir."
I mean, I can leave you in peace, but what was your name? Sorry.
"Oh, my name is Orlan, sir. Orlan."
Orlan. What are you doing down here? I
Um,
don't think the mop's very useful with the current state of things, gesturing over the water.
I'm trying my best, sir. I'm trying my best. It's what they told me to do. They won't let me out until it's all clean, sir. It's my punishment, sir.
What did you do wrong?
Oh, I couldn't say, sir. I couldn't say, sir. No. The grey cloaks, sir. The grey cloaks. If they find you here, they'll. No. You must leave, sir. And you can all hear this person talking, wafting up from down below. "Sir, I don't even work here, sir. I had a shop. It was on the other side of the district, but I'm here now, sir. They don't. Oh, sir, I couldn't afford the protection money, sir."
Am I still by the sort of entrance to the stairs?
No, you sort of prowl down the stairs. Yeah, so you're right. You've gone down the stairs because you were prowling down. So you prowled down, and you're at the bottom of the stairs right now. But everyone else they can't really hear your voice because you're softly spoken, but they can hear this other gentleman's voice coming up from the stairs. So, what's everyone else doing as this is going on?
Well, it doesn't sound like he's a threat.
think
Grimlyn.
what Grimlyn might do is reach into their bag.
Yep.
And pull out a little bottle.
Yep.
A very medicinal looking bottle, which has kind of like quite a grimy looking label on it and an old rag. Pass them to Swan, and Swan looks on the bottle and sees the words chloroform.
Well, might be a kindness, I suppose.
I was half expecting Molotov.
I don't know that it would catch very well down here.
Try not to kill more people just yet.
Yeah. Well, this guy seems so pathetic. We might as well get him out as well. But for now, we can just get him out of the way. Get some on a hanky, I guess.
Yep. Give it a sniff. Make sure it's chloroform.
There we go.
So
Down the stairs.
brilliant. So Swan comes down the stairs behind you, Echo, and you see this pitiful sight of this man. And he's just like, you'll oh, there's more of you. There's no bathrooms down here, miss. There's nothing down here at all.
Look, this sounds like a terrible situation that you've got yourself in, and I very much suggest that you leave when you can and don't get involved with the grey cloaks again. Which I will give as a bit of a command.
Okay.
And then I'm going to.
Okay. So you're going to command him, and then you're going to knock him
maybe
out.
when he wakes up, he
Brilliant. We can deal with this in one roll. So roll me. You can roll me command. You can choose a different skill if you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sort of commands the emphasis behind this, the verbalizing. For the chloroforming, skirmish would probably be better.
It's up to you, whichever one you want to use.
So I'll use skirmish if we're doing it all in one then.
Yep.
6.
Brilliant. So you command him to go, and he sort of. Oh, all right. And he kind of starts to turn around. And as he's turning around, describe how you're going to knock him out.
So, just basically arm around the front and then the arm on the face and be like, this is going to help, basically.
And you hear him go for a moment. Oh, but...
Yeah.
And his incredibly sort of light form, he's just like a sack of potatoes. It's just kind of in your arms. So there are lots of crates around. It looks like he has been given a mop and a bucket, and he's been told to mop down here as some kind of sick joke by.
Yeah, I'm not inclined to leave him here. I'm just knocking him out so that we can eventually help him get past the grey cloaks.
Yeah, no, he is out like a light. So you can do with him what you wish. If you wish him to get trench foot, you can leave him here, or you can put him on some of the crates. What do you want to do? Larkin, yes.
It's more of a lore thing than something else. Obviously, one of the reasons why we don't overly try to kill people is because they turn into ghosts and it's more of a problem. Yes. So the chloroform was a very good call.
Indeed.
And we don't want him to die of hypothermia either. So
no, because otherwise the bell would ring on the top bell, and that would mean that the rays would come out looking for the corpse. And if you don't get to it in time, well, a spirit comes out, and if the spirit wardens do come and get to it, well, then they found their perpetrators, haven't they?
Yeah. So I didn't want to sort of say that in character because I think you probably wouldn't be very aware of that anyway. So,
yes.
Good play,
death
basically.
Is bad. Yes, death is bad in Blades in the Dark.
And it's good for our audience to understand it as well, really, of why this band of basically cutthroats aren't cutting throats.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sorry. I'll stop.
Yep.
But Aunt Helen calls down the stairs. Did you kill him?
No, that's not the best way, Auntie.
Well, there are ways and means,
This
dealing with these things.
Not one of the security anyway.
Oh, well, shame.
Larkin, Are you getting any other vibes from down here?
I pull the door behind us for at the top of the
Yeah.
stairs.
So I assume you all go down to
Yep.
this basement area. Yeah.
I look around. I begin to. I'm not going to do that horrific sound for you all to listen, but I start to sort of twitch and I sort of bark somewhat and start sniffing around. You wanted me to do another roll, or is it obvious? It's a big.
It's obvious. It's obvious. It's on the other side of this
Yeah.
partition. This plaster wall partition is fairly new looking, but it's on the other side of
Yeah.
here, and you can kind of hear the footsteps of people moving overhead, and as you think actually part of it, you are down theatre. Tick another clock, so you've now got half the clock filled in before the show starts. And the whole wall, like our old Doctor Who set or Blake Seven set, the whole wall moves when people are moving around above. You can hear conversations, and yeah, but a muffled conversations. You can't make out actual words being said. You can just hear sort of thing.
So I do a quick sort of sniff and point to behind the.
Does it look like there's a gap in the partition anywhere? Is there a door?
No, it's a solid wall, but it does deliberately look like it put up recently. The plaster is new compared to the rest of the plaster. This plaster is brand new.
Okay. I'd like to try and find a spot. Sorry, Grimlyn, you.
I was just going to say, are we just going to rip it down?
Well, yeah, I'm going to go for sort of wrecking it, but try and find if there's a good spot first.
Well,
but if you've got any more subtle ideas, then that's.
No, just I like wrecking stuff. So if you want a hand, I'm happy to do it. I'm quite good at it generally.
Yes.
Oh well, we could.
Today may not be my day. Who knows?
Joint wrecking.
Prior to the joint wrecking, possibly, I'd like to potentially try a flashback if I can.
Okay, yes, you certainly may.
So, basically, what I would like to have done is, having revisited my good friend Frake when we weren't causing a ruckus directly outside their shop, just to try and glean whether there were he's heard of anything interesting happening as far as new security measures and people trying to hide things away and stuff like that, just to try and glean whether I've heard of anything that might be being used, and if I can identify a weak spot in this obstruction that's been put before us.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to do a fortune roll.
Okay.
So this is where I roll a d6, and I get to essentially determine what he knows.
Okay.
Now, can you give me the skill you would like to use, please?
Well, I figured that would be consort, which is chatting to allies and friends and stuff, isn't
Brilliant.
it? So,
give me a consort roll then, please.
Okay. That is a 5.
That's wonderful. He did very well on his as well. So he lets you know again that a lot of the time when they put up these false partitions, they'll have some door in. But a lot of the time they're quite hastily made, so they are very weak. You could put a fist through them sometimes if you found the right spot. A lot of the times, though, because they think, well, they're already protected by some kind of force. There's numbers. What's behind it could be protected by extra measures. There could be something that prevents people from getting to this item. There might be some extra layers, but quite often that could be. Sometimes it's arcane in nature, or sometimes it's mechanical in nature. There may be some kind of mechanical thing going on there that I don't know, but quite often that the false partition is not the only thing, because it's quite a weak deterrent.
Good to know. Thank you, Frank, as always.
Yes, of course. You've got a 4 there. So again, it's one of those. Yeah, there's someone mysterious in the shop at the time when you're asking this, and you didn't quite see them to start with. And just as you're leaving, they look over and then go back to looking at what they're looking at. Just kind of out of the corner of their eye. You're not sure if they heard you or not, but yes.
Oh, that's ominous, isn't it?
That's another point of heat.
Funsies. Okay. So I would then, in the moment, convey that bit of knowledge that I have gleaned.
Yeah.
Um,
So you
That
can
was
either
that
find
there
the
was
weak
some
spot.
kind of mechanical lock, but also something else.
It may not be the only. The partition may be a physical barrier that's then supported by something more. So I think if we're going to break it down, fine, but let's be ready for other things immediately afterwards.
So you mentioned trying to find the right spot, Swan,
Yeah, have a
And-
go.
and then Grimlyn, you mentioned being able to. So could you give me a roll, please, Swan?
5.
Wonderful.
Being away, and
Yeah.
I've got like a big hammer ready for wrecking, so I use that
Yeah.
to sort of see if any bits
Okay.
are weak.
So you go around and you think you find the perfect spot, and you can kind of point that out to Grimlyn,
Yeah.
so that kind of Grimlyn can do the noise, can do the necessary. However, this is an action that's setting up another action. And there is a consequence, and the consequence will be found out shortly. So Grimlyn, what are you going to do? You said you're going to.
Yeah.
So
Can I
Yeah.
help as well? Is that one?
you can take a stress to give Grimlyn an extra D6.
Yeah. So I'm
So it's 1 stress for someone else to help.
Okay. So yeah, so Gremlin's quite used to destroying things and can do
Mhm.
it relatively quietly. So has brought with them the appropriate tools for just such a endeavour. In the hope springs eternal. So I will roll the dice. Hopefully they'll be kinder to me this time. Got 6.
Oh, yes. Fantastic. So describe to me, how does Grimlyn... and you've been shown a spot, how does Grimlyn take this wall down with Swan kind of helping? So Grimlyn, what are you doing?
So Grimlyn pulls like a couple of fine chisels out of their boot, probably one in each boot, and positions them kind of in such a way that they kind of create a wedge, so that if Grimlyn wants to, not Grimlyn, if Swan wants to swing the hammer, they have some good pressure points to enable them to really kind of just push through. It's the plan.
That is some wonderful. I love it.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to add to that, Swan?
No, just that will be my large weapon
Cool.
from the
Brilliant.
load. It's big.
Wonderful. No, fantastic. So the two of you break this wall down, and it makes a lot of noise. And the because you rolled
Not as much as it would.
No, and you rolled really well on the wreck. The consequence from Swan's roll is that it is this one bit seemed to be the only bit that was bearing some load. And
Okay.
you see the ceiling just start to sag a little bit. I am starting another clock called Ceiling Collapse.
Yeah.
And this clock has 6 segments again. However, beyond, as the smoke and dust of this cheap plaster clears, beyond, you see a small room. In this room is a bit like Beauty and the Beast, a small table with a bell jar, and inside the bell jar is a spirit bottle. You know this to be a spirit bottle, Barkin Larkin, and it's almost like there's a little gramophone-like horn attached to the top of it, which is all underneath this bell jar on this small table. There is sort of quite a mechanical device around this table. It does look like this table is portable. You can see handles on the side, so it looks like there's some kind of mechanical clockwork with all these cogs and things underneath it that seems to be either powering it or doing something. And there's a large wind-up handle on the side as well.
So looking at this device,
I can't hear you. I can't hear you, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Mute. Looking at the device,
Yeah.
Is this standard or is this bespoke to this? I'd just like to let you know I've got 2 in Tinker as well.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to make you roll for it because you know that this is bespoke. This is something very bespoke.
Okay.
I mean, this whatever this is for, you suspect it's to allow the spirit to speak.
Yeah.
To most people, because a lot of times spirits only communicate through wailing and whereas this, you can actually now you're in here, you can hear chuckling coming from the bottle, like ho, 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 ho.
All right. So, crew, it is your choice. You wish to destroy this thing or attempt to take it elsewhere. We do not have a lot of time. I think this ceiling is going to be upon us.
I think even if we took him out here, we'd struggle to prove it. If we took him with us, we could deal with it then.
I have a counter argument, suggestion, as it will. It's going to require perhaps all of our skills to unite, but at great self-sacrifice, I am prepared to put myself forward as the vessel that we can smuggle this spirit out in, and by smuggle it will need to be cajoled to behave itself, for I will have no control over it. Once the transfer is done, perhaps we could make an accord with it. It would require someone of perhaps persuasive endeavours to ensure that was going to happen.
And in that scenario, how would it get out again?
Well, it is challenging, but it would perhaps, if you were to, within this accord, sort of say it would be safely with us, we'd give it a safe place to avoid the spirit, and in return, perhaps we could offer it out to some of these other places of work. I get the impression that the priest enjoys the attentions. It would be a shame to deprive it of such.
There are certainly a lot of places that would pay for it. Would we need some kind of spirit bottle to store him in? I mean, that's not an imminent problem, but
I have spirit bottles already, and I am myself, in a way, a spirit bottle.
I'm just thinking if you're possessed and we can't ask you these questions, that basically.
Wow. Normally, if you render me unconscious, the spirit will leave, and then you have your fists of ghost destruction.
Yeah.
It is
I'd
not
rather
the
be
first
wrestling him.
time.
Be prepared if I'm wrestling him into something. I have that something on hand.
I have, and part of my load, I've got 2 spirit bottles. I think they come in 2s.
Got something in your pocket. I mean, I don't want to touch them, but it's good to know about that.
Oh, they are fine. I pull one out. It's covered in sandwich and in tobacco, and I kind of clean it off a little bit.
I'm sure he'll want to go
Sort
in
of
there.
spit on it and wipe it all over my dirty coat.
Lovely.
All right, well, it's as good as plan as any right now. If
Is
everyone
it
else
really? I'm going to need someone who is. I am quite good with devices, especially of the occult, but it's going to require all of my efforts to deal with the spirit. So, is there someone else that can perhaps operate the device? Do any of you have any skills
Probably.
with devices? Probably.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear when my life is on the
Oh,
line.
let me have a look at it. Then I'll know, won't I?
Ah, after you.
You to me.
I'll be on.
I'll go and take a look at it.
It is neutral. I would like someone to take this device safely as well. I will give my share of coin for this device. I might not be of my own mind in a few moments. I'll give my share of the coin, not the property, the coin.
Are there any in this space? Are there any crates that are empty or could be emptied
Yes.
easily?
Yes, there are crates that could be emptied easily. Yes.
Are any of them big enough to fit this contraption in?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Whilst we're preparing to release whatever the hell is going to happen next,
Hmm.
I would like, if possible, to use my subterfuge supplies
Hmm.
to mock up a label to go on one of the crates, which is delivered
Wonderful.
to
Yeah.
Stasia or whatever the
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wonderful.
Grimlyn's contact was.
Okay. Can you give me a roll, please, for that? What do you think would be best?
That's probably going to be, I would say, finesse, because I'm trying
Yeah.
to forge something convincingly. And
Yep. So remember, you can push yourself, or you can take a devil's bargain, or someone else can help you to take a stress.
Can I just clarify how much stress?
Oh, you are muted, Larkin. Sorry.
Can I just clarify how much stress is it to?
Mm,
No. How much stress can a character take? Because I've taken 2 already. 9.
9.
I mean, if this is to get the device away, I'll certainly help you with that. I'll take a
Brilliant.
stress.
That's it. Cool. Yep.
cool. Okay, so that's 2 dice.
Yep.
One of which is a 6.
Brilliant. This label is perfect. You saw what was on the packet earlier, and you knew exactly what it was to mock up to make it believable. And this label goes on the side, and it's going to pass almost any casual inspection. So yes, well done.
And how much stress do I take for that?
Just the one.
Just one. So puts me on 3.
So I am, and this is not as a result of your action, it's a result of time passing. Another segment of the clock for show starts being ticked. You have 2 segments left, and I'm going to tick a segment of ceiling collapse. You have 5 segments left of that one.
Okay. I guess we need to, whatever you're going to do, Larkin,
Get on.
do.
Yep.
Well, Aunty, you wanted one last score.
Oh yes, dearie.
This is going to be one show for you.
She's licking her lips at the moment, and her hands are being wrung. That'd be good.
I think I'm going to need Grimlyn to cause the device so we can speak to this.
Okay.
I'm then going to try and consort, and I've got a special ability, compel.
Yep. Oh, brilliant. Yes, because you are a whisper.
Mhm.
So, what are you going to use, Grimlyn, to get the machine going?
So I'm going to use tinkering,
Yep.
and I have some tinkering tools, which
Brilliant.
actually one of them is my hat pin.
Lovely.
And I'm going to use some of my fine little tools to kind of manipulate the mechanism to kind of to release it.
Brilliant.
Well, we hope, if the dice like me. 5.
Wonderful. So what happens is you start to tinker with the dice, and the handle, it seems like there's some kind of loaded spring already. The handle starts to go round on its own, and but with the complication, the bell jar clicks off and smashes on the floor, leaving the spirit bottle and the gramophone horn on top. But it's currently constantly turning, and you hear coming out from the speaker, "Oh ho 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 ho! Oh, is it showtime already? Very good. Well, I should tell you about the time me and 3 other of my priests went into the big brothel down on..." Unless someone interrupts him.
I say to you, Swan. All right, do you want to show your guns? Get those fists. We need a bit of intimidation here for...
Thought you were going for the persuasion. All right.
I mean, okay, I can't persuade him. If you wish to persuade him, do it however you wish.
Well-
No, you're leading this thing, Larkin. You do what you do. We'll help how we can.
Right. Mate, can you hear me? Calling, matey. Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Loud and
Oh,
clear. Well, you've been a very naughty boy.
Oh, I know.
I hope you're enjoying your unlife, if it is. But I've got bad news for it. It's about to come to a very sharp end.
What?
Yes.
No.
You're aware of the priest that you've been speaking around and the spirit wardens, and they want to put an end to your bawdy tales.
Oh no! I have coin. I had coin. Tell you where someone is.
Well, that would be useful. It looks like you're at your lucky day then. Looks like your lucky day. We need to get you out of here though. Out of here.
I pay to become a god, so I would rather like to continue being one. So yes, get me out of here, please, if I'm in danger.
Well,
yeah. We'll see about you continuing what you're doing. Yes, can't be here.
So,
well,
sorry, yeah, I mean, this seems a little too easy. So I'm suspicious. And I'll convey that to you. I kind of lower my voice and go, "Oh, sounds a bit easy." I mean, we could just take the spirit bottle, but I prefer my idea of him, possessing me. I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest. I was hoping that would be the way.
If we take the bottle, it would be at risk of being damaged.
Yeah, you've convinced me. So, boss, it's a bit awkward. I'm going to need you to use me for a while as a vessel. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm afraid this contraption was built to contain me. If I mean,
We'll get you out of there. Don't worry.
Oh, no, I like it in here. No. I refuse. No.
Okay, well, spirit ward as it is then.
Oh.
It's just easier to transport you out. We can put you back in potentially afterwards.
In fact, I would like my body back at some point.
Turn this table around slightly. Oh, I want to be.
Yeah, it's not.
I walk round the table as opposed to moving the table.
You bloody what? You're not putting me in that.
Have you seen what you look like at the moment, mate?
Damn sight better than you.
You'd be surprised.
Consider at least that you wouldn't be suspected of being yourself in this vessel,
Indeed.
and then easier to get away. And then once we're away, we put you back in there. We have a way of transporting the device.
Oh.
I show him my spirit bottle that's covered in.
Oh.
And the ceiling is about to fall down.
There is also that.
Take another clock.
So
We can do this the hard way.
Are you going to try and convince him then? What are you going
I
to
think so. I don't. Was you trying to sway Echo,
Um,
or was you trying to intimidate Swan, or were you both?
I
Doing
was
it?
trying to help in the general sway attempt.
Again, someone, if they've got enough stress left to take full stress, you could try. Or you could flash back if you think that there's something you've got good in the past that you could use.
I'm happy to contribute to this. I'm not trying to. In fact, I probably would try and persuade him, even though I have little to no skill in this, because I kind of want to be possessed, because it is my vice. So
I would support that and take a stress to add to your sway.
Okay.
Brilliant. So you get however one extra dice in sway, please.
I have.
I can help with sway.
Wow. Well, then you could make it a group
I was going
action.
to say, is this a group action?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we can do. I don't have sway, but
You have enough stress left.
I've got 3 stress at the moment. Yeah, so I could take 4.
Yeah. You could take a bit more stress. It'll be fine.
So,
Okey-dokey.
is that we don't feel that you need to, but if it's a group, it's a group. If it isn't, it isn't.
Yeah. You're going to make it a group action with everyone rolling sway?
we can do.
Yep.
So
Okay.
just to clarify, I roll 2 and take the lowest.
You roll 2. You take. Yep.
As
If
do
you.
I,
Yep.
because I have none.
Right.
Oh, I have 1.
Okay.
It's got sway.
So yes, let me know your highest roll, please.
2.
That's 1 failure. That's 2 failures.
3.
That's 3 failures.
Well, the good news is I got a 6.
Yeah.
nice.
The bad news is I also got a 3.
Okay. So for each failure, you take a stress. So you take 4 stress, and you don't succeed. And he goes, "I'm not going anywhere. You'll have to fight me.
All right.
Good luck with that."
I'll fight him if you want.
You can't do heckins to me, lady.
Oh, that sounds like a threat. So
Yeah, well, try it. Try it,
Alright.
fleshy.
well, I will. And I'll roll skirmish.
Okay, he's still in the spirit bottle at the moment.
Well, there must be a way to like pull him out.
Oh yeah, you could smash the spirit bottle.
I don't want to smash.
Can we not just take him out in the spirit bottle?
Hey,
I'm
I mean, the
ignore
spirit
him.
bottle is attached to this table device, so you'd have to take the whole table.
But we've now got a crate that's big enough for it to fit it.
You do, yes.
Yeah, it's just risky. Then we're waiting for him to be delivered.
We can take it out. Let's cause some chaos and take it out. There's chaos.
I have as well being able to imbue my fist. I can imbue any kind of melee weapon or tool.
Okay,
So
yeah.
if I imbue like a tool and say that I've got some kind of hooky thing, can I hook him out?
Yeah, you could give it a go. Yeah, I'm going to let you do that. So give me a roll for your hooking it out.
Well, I'll say it's skirmish because he's going to be
Yep.
like trying to not
Brilliant.
do it. 5.
Wonderful. So you sort of basically get this tool and you sort of jam it down the speaking tube and kind of into the bottle, and you sort of swirl it around, and then you pull it out, and this sort of weird plasmic essence comes with it, and it changes and forms into this form of a spectral, basically friar. He's quite rotund, bold, got the sort of the rope belt and everything, and he looks very annoyed. He's like, no, 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 this is not how it is.
Quicker you come with us, the quicker you get into your next brothel.
Well, can anyone do anything to
I'll wrestle him into Barkin if that's what needs to happen.
well,
Grapple him.
Larkin, you mentioned you also have compel, so
I've
Well, I'll
got.
grapple him.
So have you got? It's me that's got compel. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with your skirmish before, you can have pulled him out and grappled him
Yeah.
Okay,
already
yeah,
with a
fine.
5, but he's gone full
got range,
Yeah.
Okay, so I will sort of start throwing stuff out of my pocket, sandwiches and
Yep.
the like. Pull out one of my talismans.
Yep.
You might want to shield your eyes from this. Nobody likes ectoplasm in the face, and I just slam it
Brilliant.
into him, and I attempt to compel him. Now it's just a
Yes.
special ability, so I think I
Yep.
just get a bonus dice
You do.
in something. I've got attune and consult. I'm not sure what. I don't know whether it's supposed to be command for compelling or.
Could be whatever you want to use. If you want to use a tune and you want to sort of not tell him, but use the psychic energies, the ghost energies, that's one thing you could do.
Yeah.
You could command him and get it on that. It's however you want to do it. It's the flavor
Okay.
you want to provide it.
So I'll use attune because that is what I'm
Brilliant.
most skilled at doing. Not because I want it to succeed, but it's the thing that I'm used to doing it, the way that I'm used to doing it as. I've got compel, which you'll have to correct me on the rules here, but I think it gives me an extra dice to
It does, yeah.
compelling spirits.
For now, yeah.
And I would like to take a devil's bargain as well.
You certainly may. So, you can have an extra D6. However, I mean, you're already addicted to
I love
spirits.
it. I love it.
But this guy's got a certain panache. You're now not going to be addicted to any spirit possessing you. You're going to be addicted to clergymen.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Definitely.
I have no. Yeah, I do. I have lots of trouble with that, but I'm going to take the dice anyway.
Brilliant. So, you're now addicted to this being possessed by the spirits of clergymen or women.
Yeah.
The bawdier, the better. However, yes, give me your roll, please.
Well, I started off rolling a single dice and getting a 6. So I've got 4 dice now, and let's see if I can get 4 ones. It's not too bad. I've got a 1, 2 4s, and a 5.
Okay, so I'm going to say with the time it took to do that, the complication with the 5 is that another 2 boxes on the ceiling collapse are going to be filled in. So you've got 2 segments left, and another box on the show start is going to be filled in, which means you've got 1 clock tick left before the show is due to start, and 2 clock ticks left before the ceiling collapses. However, you using your attunement, you get this guy inside you. What does it look like to everybody else when this guy's going in?
Well, I mean, it's full on sort of Ghostbusters. Let's face it. Kind of, it's through open orifices. So in my mouth, up my nose, in my ears, as it. And what is strange as well is he's kind of always sort of stooped but he takes on a whole new sort of demeanor as the spirit is in control. That's the downside to possessions, really.
Yes.
What does he say? Because I don't control this. You
No.
do.
Well, he's looking down and he's patting his stomach. Goes, well, I'm a bit slimmer, but oh, the lungs. Oh, my word. What are these cigarettes? No. These have to go. And he throws the packet on the floor and stomps on it.
Can I take
With your
another stress?
Yes, you may. As he stomps on them and goes, no. And again, you can probably see all of this happening. And he says, right then, let's get out of here. If we're going, we've got to go. And Aunty Helen goes, oh, he's a bit different, isn't he?
You want
Yes.
possession.
Now, this is my.
I-
Oh, sorry, Echo. You go ahead, mate.
It's just I will load this into the crate and we'll
lovely.
get out of here if we can.
Do you want a hand? She says as she's trembling, trying to lift it.
I feel like our new friend is probably better placed to assist, or one of our other. If somebody else could take the other end of the box, that would be useful.
Oh, these aren't hands that do manual labor.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
Oh.
Well, I can help, but I also want to get this guy out.
I
Oh.
feel like if Grimlyn is willing to assist, that frees your hands up to be useful.
I can try. Let's go.
Brilliant. So, Grimlyn and Echo, you move the device that keeps him safe and keeps him talking into the box, and you can put the lid on the box. It's a very good idea that you did get him out of that. Otherwise, he would have been able to talk whilst in there. So you put the lid on. It's all sealed up, and the shipping label tells people where to deliver it. And then your Swan, you can pick this guy up over your shoulder, ready to take him out. And Aunty Helen goes, "Oh, that was so much fun. We now scarpering, right?
Well, yeah, we got to get out now.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go." And you can. How do you want to escape? What do you want to do?
Well, I think we should sort of just go for kind of quickly. We're not hanging around because the ceiling's going.
My thinking with the crate was that we would carry it out because we've come from what's her name's alchemy shop. We're just taking it back, so that's our kind of, we've delivered stuff, we're now taking a delivery out, but one of our party is unfortunately slightly the worse for wear.
Ah,
was
very
my thinking.
good.
So it's kind of a subterfuge type exit as opposed to a smash and grab job, if that makes sense. Was my thinking, but I'm happy to be
Yeah. I mean, it'll be good to get the crate out probably because the ceiling is going to come.
Yeah.
Have it.
Brilliant. So, all I need to know really is who's carrying the crate.
I think it's Echo and Grimlyn, isn't it?
Wonderful.
Aren't we
Oh my
carrying the
God,
crate?
So, the two of you carry the crate up the stairs. The priest, Edmund Thatcher, is kind of tapping his body and patting the buttocks and top of the head and regretting doing that immediately because of the hat. And he's kind of, "Oh, no, this, I can't wait to be back in my device. Oh, this is awful. Has anyone got a hot dog? I can eat a kebab. 15 kebabs. Oh, it's been a long time since I've been in a body. Oh, let's go to a bawdy house." Aunt Helen wraps him on the back of the head with a walkie stick and goes, "Shut up, you."
I think if we get out of the bawdy house first,
Get out
before
of
we
this
think
club.
about going back in.
Oh, righto.
Kinda
And so you carry the crate up the stairs. On the way out to the door you came in by, a grey cloak stops you. It says, "Here, what are you lot doing?"
We were picking up a delivery. We made a delivery. We've got to bring this one back. It's marked up.
He goes and checks the crate. And because of your previous great roll, he looks at the shipping logo and goes, "Oh, you're from the apothecary.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Can you let Stasia know that the itch has come back? And if you could send the powder over, that would be lovely."
Yes, of course. Is there a name I should give?
Yeah, bum itch. Oh, of the thing, sorry. Yeah, it's Drakov.
Drakov with the bum itch. All right. I will pass that on, and we'll get a delivery out to you as soon as we can. Thank you very much for your assistance.
And he walks away very gingerly. However, you get the crate, you get it out of the building and back onto the dark and dank streets of Doskvol. The rain is lashing down still. as you carry this crate. Where are you going to take it? Are you going to take it back to Stacey's, or are you going to take it to Aunty Helen's, or have you got somewhere else you would take it as an intermediary?
Well, Aunty Helen's is the safe house.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Just
probably
make sure we're not being followed. Go.
probably
Brilliant.
take a relatively circuitous, like
Yeah.
straightish, but not a normal route, if that makes sense.
Wonderful.
Not to
So
need to drop off the guy somewhere, not
do.
take him to Aunty Helen's.
Yeah, drop him off somewhere like maybe some kind of hospital for the poor, or whatever. We'll just drop him.
There. Hospital. So Grimlyn, hospitals for the poor, and you know that they're not hospitals.
So the nearest to an actual, someone who would just wake him up and send him off.
That's probably a pub landlord.
That's fine. Yeah. A friendly pub in the area.
Okay.
Him
So
up a drink in a booth or something.
what's your intention? Is your intention to knock out Barkin to get the ghost back into the device, and then
Depends how funny
you're-
the guy.
he's very funny. He's happy to tell bawdy stories, and he's more
Can
than
you
happy
make it
to.
laugh?
Yeah. But I mean, is his intention to get Barkin back to being Barkin as soon as you can?
Yeah.
Yes,
Very
and I
soon.
wonder if he was able to see out of when he was in
Yeah,
the device, wasn't
he
he?
was, yeah.
Okay. I was just thinking, do we try and do that before we go to the safe house so he doesn't see where the safe house is? But if he can see anyway, it's sort of irrelevant. That's cool.
So here's what we'll do. We'll montage this bit. So you get back to Aunty Helen's and Barkin. You said you had to be knocked out. That's probably the best way. So who does the deed to Barkin to knock him out? Would that be you, Swan?
If it's going to be a physical knocking out and not just more of the
Well, that's all he told you.
Wow. Yeah, give him a.
Giving him a
Cheers.
bop on the head.
Thank you.
I'll choke him out.
You have chloroform and you decide to punch me out.
We do find a hot dog stand on the way back just to pacify.
We'll see.
Brilliant. Yes.
To fry it just a smidge.
And you get this disgust from this horrible peddler. You get this disgusting sausage in a bun. That's, I mean, the sausage, it's terrible. The bread is staler than the sandwiches that Aunty Helen gave you earlier. But you all managed to make it back. Barkin, you are knocked out. And there is a transfer between yourself and the device of the ghost. And you manage to have this ghost now in this house, your hideout. So the payoff, as congratulations, you have at least managed to get the guy out of there. You haven't assassinated him, but you have stolen him. And he's now your commodity to do with what you wish. You can sell him to the spirit wardens. You can deal with him however you want. But for now, your crew gets 2 reputation. Well, you are now a crew. So you get 2 reputation. You get paid by Aunty Helen 6 coin. Whatever you get on top of this is lovely. However, there are entanglements. And this is where things happen based on the heat you took in the heat you currently have. And you currently have, for a brand new crew, 2 heat, which means I roll a d6, and on a 1 to 3, you have gang trouble or the usual suspects. On a 4 or 5, rivals or the unquiet dead, or 6, cooperation. Oh my word, cooperation. So in the future, you may be approached by another gang, or you are approached, by another gang. You're actually approached by the Lamp Blacks. They've got some work for you if you'll take it in the future. But again, that maybe is for another time. So you get back. Aunty Helen, after you've sorted out Larkin, Aunty Helen says, "Oh, don't worry, dears. I'm just going to go out to my room to bed." And she dodders. Sorry?
Are you, Aunty Helen?
She pats you all on the cheek. And I mean, if appropriate, she also kisses you on the cheek, including you, Larkin. And she says, "Oh, my dears, that was lovely. That was absolutely lovely. This was just what I wanted. You're so wonderful. All you dears are wonderful." And she moves your pictures down. So Larkin, Swan, Echo and Grimlyn's picture are now sharing the coffee table, and the other picture that was on there has been moved down one. You are now her favourites. She goes up to bed. And you're kind of left in this sitting room on your own when there's a knock at the door.
Has it got like one of those peepholes?
Yeah, it has. And it's outside is a man in a black suit and a bowler hat.
Some suited guy. Are we answering?
I guess so. And I'm going to move into the darkest corner of the room and attempt to be surreptitious.
All right, open the door.
He walks in. And he stands there and goes, hello. Are you... he looks at a piece of paper, gets that out of a briefcase. These are strange names. Larkin?
Yeah.
Ah, he's in there. Okay. Are you Grimlyn? Are you Echo?
I'm Grimlyn, yes.
Are you?
Who are you and what are you doing here?
Oh, my name is Bartleby DeVile. I'm a solicitor. May I come in?
All right.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. It's always so bad to do business on the streets. And he walks in, and he's a rather prim-looking man with a sort of very, very well manicured moustache. And he wanders in and takes his bowler hat off, puts it under his arm, and says, "Oh, don't worry, I won't be here long. I'm just here to drop off the papers. I was told you'd be here."
For the house, then.
Yes. Helen Bartleby left it to you in her will.
When were you told we'd be here?
Oh, she said she'd invited you about a month ago to come here at this time. She left it in her last will and testament before she died.
And when did she die?
Oh, about a month ago. And that is where we will leave it. Thank you very much for playing, everybody.
Thank you very much for GMing.
It's been an absolute honor. Thank you very much, Andy, for letting me GM. It's been a lot of fun for me. Thank you very much to everyone in chat that's been here along for the ride. Again, any and all feedback is gratefully received. Just going to go around and see if there's anything anyone else wants to say. So we'll start with Andy.
Yeah, no, I want to say a big thanks to you, Kristian. Awesome game. Really, really nice sort of system. Really enjoyed it all. I hope I was a good player for you. Other than that, obviously, I want to thank the other players involved as well, and everybody in chat. And if you're watching it on video on demand, thank you for spending the time with us as well. And just a very quick and polite reminder, please, if you haven't already, give us a subscribe and a like, because it really, really helps us out. But other than that, thank you very much, everybody involved. I had a blast.
Thank you, Andy. Rachel?
Yeah, it was my first time doing Blades in the Dark as well, and it's been fun. It's an interesting system, and like you said, really like gets to the action quickly. So thanks for putting together such great stuff.
And you have to say that we're married.
Yeah.
Matt, over to you.
Thank you to you, sir, and everybody else for playing, and everybody for watching. Yeah, my first time with Blades in the Dark as well, and my first time being like live playing as well. So hopefully that wasn't too clunky. But no, lovely. Thank you very much.
And finally, Sarah.
No, I had a great time. I'm not married to you, so I can still say I thought it was a great story, and thank you very much. And thank you to all. You were all great. So yeah, I had a good time, and it's a nice system. I enjoyed it. It's not too heavy on the dice. It's a lot about story and stuff. So yeah, no, it's great.
Just handy for us when we're just rolling ones.
Yes. Yes. And never before have I thought that I'd need to come up with so many bad consequences and things. But no, thank you very much for everyone watching. Please, if you haven't already, join our Discord. It should be in the description down below.
It's in
And
the
come back
comment.
for more actual plays as well. Andy, do you want to tell us what's going on in the future?
Well, we've got a lot of stuff really.
You are muted, Andy.
I lifted it up. I'm behaving myself. Thank you. Yeah, this really. I mean, we did some actual plays a long time ago, but this is our ignore. What's the word?
Inaugural.
That's the word. Of course, we did improv, but it was kind of a playtest session 0. So the only one that we've got scheduled at the moment is Shiver on the 14th of March, which is going to be sort of directed by the writer, the creator of the game himself, Charlie, which I'm super excited about. We've got a great cast for that. But we're looking at doing some more improvs on Sunday nights, 8 through to 10. And I'm looking to run some stuff as well on alternative Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So watch out in our Discord for what we'll be doing a week tomorrow. So a week on Wednesday tomorrow. It is Wednesday tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes.
Which will probably be what I suggested, some alternate smoke, Tales from the Smoke. So it'll be Tales from the Smoke setting by homebrew setting, but using different systems like Blades in the Dark to kind of represent the city in different ways and styles. So a lot to look out for. And obviously Monday to Friday, 6 o'clock club. So club, come out, hang out, where we chat about the stuff that Twisted Narrative do. Questions that people have posted in our Discord, and everything else role-playing orientated, really. I think that's about it, but I want to say just a massive thank you again to you, Kristian. It was great fun. Thank you very much.
Well, I think that's it then. So it is a very, very, very spooky good night. Good night, all.
Good night, chat. Thanks.
Night. Thanks, guys.